police brigade because it's not that you're bad people.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think that most contractors are bad people. That they just don't know how to do the business.
It's the business part they have trouble with.
Yeah,
I totally
because they probably have the craft down.
Mm-hmm.
They just fail at pricing and accountability. And if when you run out of money, you really are just kind of trying to grasp at straws just to try and put some food on the table.
Yeah, totally.
Before you suck up the embarrassment of shutting your business down. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Nick, do you guys refinish wood floors?
No, I have referral for that. Yeah.
Roughly speaking, what would a guy budget to refinish, say, 1,100 square feet, one big rectangle?
So let me just tell you this: I have a 3-level home, and in the middle level is probably right around 3,000 square feet, and about 400 or 500 square feet is carpet. Everything else was hardwood. I did that, and all my stairs refinished and sanded and refinished, and it was $18,000. That's what I paid a contractor.
Holy shit, that's expensive.
It looks amazing.
I'll bet it does. Yeah.
It looks ridiculous.
I'll bet.
Yeah. So I mean, I've never questioned the end result.
Yeah.
And I think that's
a great investment.
For me, it is. I mean, for me, I don't buy cheap. I don't charge cheap.
Yeah, totally.
Does that make sense?
Oh, it makes perfect sense.
I mean,
that's how it should be.
When people, when people are just buying after price, I mean, I buy after quality.
Yeah.
It's just
of course.
the nature of who I am.
Yeah.
And it's always usually served me well.
Yeah. You've been to that new showroom by Floor and Decor in I-70 in Peoria area?
There's a bunch of them over there.
I-70. It's called Floor and Decor.
Yeah.
Is the supplier.
Right. Oh, yeah, I know them. Yeah.
And I just discovered their new showroom, I-70 in Havana, actually.
It's a big one?
Oh, my God, it's bigger than the biggest Walmart you've ever seen.
That's crazy.
It will make your head swim.
What's that?
A big Floor and Decor showroom.
What is it?
The new Floor and Decor showroom, and I-70
Oh,
in
God.
Havana. Oh, my God.
It's big, huh?
Oh, I couldn't believe what I was seeing in there.
Yeah, listen, Floor and Decor is really they're the game for tile at this point.
Yeah.
Because they've got so many different options, and they do stock that large format.
That's where I discovered those sheets.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. No, it's pretty cool. It's a good store. I mean, I'd love to figure out a way to get some business going out of there. You know what I mean? I haven't yet, though. I haven't figured that out just yet. See, look at that. That's a wall of porcelain.
Oh, look how nice that looks.
Yeah.
That's your house?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Man, you rich guys got it made.
I'm not.
Listen to this.
It's what he does.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
It's like if you sell Mercedes, you drive a Mercedes.
You better be driving one. You better be pulling up in a Honda, right?
Yeah. Hey, do you want some water or a Diet Coke?
No, I'm good, man.
We got all that in the break room.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
You bet.
Yeah, I was trying to find the flooring I was telling you about. I got to get my picture. That's one thing I do is got to get my pictures organized. But yeah, no, I think you're gonna do if you consider doing charcoal. It looks amazing. Charcoal for the floor.
Yeah.
It just pops really nice. I was trying to find some pictures. I struggle. Just purely because I got too many darn pictures.
I saw so many incredible options. I didn't even bother figuring out which one I would choose because I was overwhelmed. And it'll take like 5 more trips to the showroom.
Right.
And I'll buy a sample of something,
Yeah.
They have a great clearance section.
Do they?
It is so cheap.
Yeah. Look into LVP though too.
What's LVP?
Lux
Is that another
vinyl.
showroom?
Vinyl plank.
Oh,
I think you can make it look really nice.
It does look nice. I agree with that. It feels plastic.
Depends.
Really?
It depends. I mean, it depends on what you buy. You know, it's just like anything else.
Yeah.
There's different levels with jigger.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I would say.
Yeah, I just walked. I'm going to look at them because I do remember encountering several aisles of vinyl, and I just walked right past it. But
Take a closer
I'm
look.
going to.
I'm telling you, I do more of that than anything when it comes to flooring for baths and such. You know, so.
Oh, for bathroom would be great.
Yeah,
because it's withstands water.
But even in full houses, I mean, you can find some nice stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know, man, I went out to Florida this last week. Went to a huge rock and roll festival.
Yeah.
My goodness, it was crazy. There was so many people.
I thought you were going to say you went to a tile expo.
Yeah, I do that. I do enough of that. Those you kind of just yeah, we do plenty of those too. But went out there and just in a sea of people, you know.
Yeah. Ripped off, bad news. You need advice so you don't have to lose. We'll come running just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help the common man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Welcome, my friends, to the only show of its kind. We're here to solve problems, answer questions, take complaints. We're here to go after the bad guys. We're here to expose the bad guys. We're here to get to the truth, and we're here to help and educate everybody listening. If you have any questions, if you need help with something, 303 Martino. The number is that simple, 303 Martino. And here's the deal. In studio with us today, I got Deputy Dimitri, Deputy Doc. We have a great guest in, Nick Fox, with Renewal Home Innovations. They do a ton of bathrooms around town. You probably see them. You're on TV a lot, too. Don't you do a lot of advertising and television?
Yeah, we do quite a bit. It's a great way to reach our clientele.
Yeah, definitely. Plus, the nice part about TV is you're showing us all these beautiful porcelain walls. It's pretty hard to show them through the radio.
Absolutely.
But your website, for sure, has a lot of your projects.
Yeah, 100%. All the projects you see and the pictures you see are actual jobs that we've completed for our customers.
RenewHomeInnovations.com. Now, we're talking to Ron, and by the way, Nick, I don't remember if I think I remember you in studio a few times.
Oh, yeah, there's quite a few times, actually.
I know you've been in with Tom a lot, but I don't think, when's the last time you and I were together? I'm thinking years.
It's been like 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I do a little different. You want to jump in, hit that button and jump in.
You got it.
On any calls we're talking about. That's just kind of the deal here, especially on something like this one. We're talking about a contractor and Ron. Pretty unique situation. I'm going to catch everybody up, but first I got to tell you, we got some lines open. 303-713-8255. Get those calls in now. Help at troubleshooter.com, or of course 303 Martino works on and off the air. But Ron calls in. He had a contractor build basically a 36 by 16 two-story garage. He put $3,500 down. At this point, he's got $85,000 into it. We've kind of looked through the contract, and the contract does appear that the missing items should have been done, such as the overhead door. One of the doors isn't there. The building itself being painted, or the garage. And then there's an issue with the man door. Not a big deal, but something needs to be done. Just finished up. And then the gutters aren't on there. And the entire project amount was supposed to be about 83. He's paid about 85. Now the contractor is literally saying there's not enough profit in it. Prices went up, and you paid too slow. And he's saying, actually, the contract's not a contract. It's an estimate. And Dimitri, you kind of looked at that. Generally, what they would do is you have an estimate, then you tie that into the contract, and everybody signs it.
Yeah, Mark, I did look at in fact, I got the contract open in front of me here. It does actually on page 1 incorporate the estimates. So that estimate really does become a part of the contract. Now, one of the issues I've noticed is neither party seems to have signed the actual contract. However, that may be moot at this point because they both have been performing the contract. So I think they both ratified it without having signed it. I was disappointed to see it does have an arbitration provision in it.
Yeah, that's
which is
probably
gonna
what he needs to.
Well, it's going to be very expensive.
It's not compared to going to court. Finding a good arbitrator,
probably much more expensive than going to court.
What are you, nuts?
No, I'm totally serious.
Oh my God! I have never walked into a courtroom before discovery at $100,000.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah, well, this is the kind of case that would require that much discovery. But
no, why do you say, hold on, you've totally threw me off here. Why do you think arbitration would cost so much more? I'm totally blown away by that.
Well, private arbitration services, I did some cursory research
what do you
on
think,
this.
10 grand?
At least. That's probably what it starts with per party.
Dimitri, I totally disagree. Nick, you're sitting there perched.
Well, I mean, being in business as a contractor, I have had to do that once or twice. And it's usually about $4,000 between two parties to arbitrate.
Yeah, I've seen the tops around 10.
Oh, that's fantastic. Are you guys sure you're not thinking about mediation?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, generally, in arbitration, you both agree whatever the arbitrator says at the end is done.
Yeah.
Mediation, generally, hopefully you both agree, but if not, you get kicked up to a magistrate or a judge who's ultimately going to make the decision.
Well, I mean, that sounds great, but either way, I mean, that
just the losing party pay, by the way, is that in there?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's got a fee shifting provision for the prevailing party.
So when you're looking at the agreement itself, though, that stuff's in there for the most part, right? And it does show the price, or a total price of $83. I realize there was some change orders. I'm not worried about those.
Yeah, the contract doesn't have any pricing. It doesn't have any dates.
Does it tie itself to the estimate?
It does, yes.
Does the estimate show $83,000?
Yeah, it sure does.
And then how does it tie it? What is the language it uses?
Well, it's right there in the very first paragraph. It says that contractor shall provide construction services according to the description and scope of work set forth in estimate number.
Yeah, perfect.
Blank.
That ties it to it perfect. Ron, I think the guy owes you this stuff. I do not like his excuses. Kelly, did we try to reach out to this guy?
Voicemail just went straight to.
Do you think this guy's in financial trouble or anything, Ron?
I don't know for sure, and this kind of goes into conversations back and forth.
Yeah.
Which I know I don't have those in writing, so I want to be careful.
Yeah, but go ahead. I mean, you can always state your opinion or your thoughts on something, man.
Yeah. He did say one thing that caused me some concerns on those grounds. He said, when he's talking about not having enough profit, he said, I've actually been using other jobs to fund this one.
Well, that's illegal. According to the Contractors Trust Act in the state of Colorado, that's illegal. And for people to understand, contractors have to put your money in trust. Does that mean they have to literally open a bank account just for your project? No. But that money needs to be earmarked for your job. You're not allowed to commingle. You're not supposed to. Now, saying all that, there's not a lot of teeth in the law. There is civilly. If you had proof of that, that might be able to do something in front of a judge if you went after this guy for the money that he owes you. And the reason I'm saying that aspect of it is I would assume the stuff that needs to be done is worth what? How much?
Well, in that synopsis, I've kind of gone over it. I got a quote from Genesis for gutters.
Yeah, just put it all together. How much are we talking?
Well, I'm talking $20,000.
Well,
but that's on a matrix on a synopsis, and it includes a couple other things I didn't mention yet. So there may be things on there you'll say, well,
yeah, you basically got a. Yeah, I understand. You basically got a punch list less. I want to bring Nick in this real quick. Nick, how many projects have you done for not just listeners but in general? I mean, thousands. How many? How many bathroom remodels?
Over 10,000 since we opened our doors.
That's amazing. That's amazing. That's very cool. And I've never had one complaint about you guys. I don't remember one complaint. Now, I probably just jinxed you.
Thanks.
Oh,
yeah.
Thanks.
Let me ask you something, though. What do you make of this scenario? What do you make of it? You saw the estimate, or at least you heard the words, how it tied to it. What I really don't like is, at least according to the caller, this guy's excuses are kind of crazy. Not enough profit. I mean, let's just stick to that one. That's his fault from the beginning, unless if he had in that contract, and we've seen new home contracts, new condos being built, contracts that say if supplies go up drastically,
Right.
The price of the condo will go up drastically.
But Mark,
I
doesn't it
literally
sound
see
like,
those.
It sounds like a lot of this stuff is labor and not material.
Well, that door and paint and all that stuff, he's saying it's 20 grand, regardless of what it is.
Well,
I mean, 20 grand.
I would think it needs to follow what's written per the agreement. I mean, that'd be the first thing. I'd want to understand what's in the agreement.
Yeah.
What are the expectations of the agreement, timelines, things of that nature, what materials, a clear allocation of what's being done. And so then when he comes back and says, I got another 20,000 of work, well, there's a problem there.
There is a problem there.
Yeah. So I would be looking at that.
Yeah, it's kind of nuts, Ron. So, hey, Dimitri, who's that attorney you really like with who deals just with
Oh,
contractors?
Hollington Law down there in
Do you
Parker.
think we could get them on?
Yeah, you want me to give him a call, see
Give
if he's
him a
willing
call.
to come on the air?
What I would like to do is send Ron, or have Ron, the documents that I'm looking at, there's a ton of them you sent. They just got forwarded to me. Does that encumber everything? Is everything in there? Dimitri, you've looked at it.
Yes.
Is the contract in there? Everything's
Gotta hope so. It's like a
Yes,
phone book
everything is in
thickness
there.
worth of documents.
Yeah, I liked your brief summary was 7 pages.
That's just a summary.
Yeah, that was the summary.
Dude, can you send us the details next?
And I would actually love for this contractor to come on and give his side, but from everything that I see, in my opinion, this guy just simply, he's just simply not doing the right thing.
Well, I think he underbid the job, and if he's using other jobs to allegedly to finance this one, that's not a good sign.
Yeah,
I don't think it's going to go anywhere
He
with the
probably won't
contractor.
acknowledge. Actually, he might acknowledge that. Maybe he is an honest guy that doesn't finish jobs. Those people exist. Seriously. What?
I was just thinking, I had someone tell me recently that a company can never get ahead of improperly pricing jobs.
No, of course not.
And you live behind every single job, and you continuously end up having these types of conversations with customers.
A big example we use all the time is, people that discount, I'll just take home services. So they're selling a water heater for $1,599. Well, eventually there's not enough profit in that job at today's prices to where you could ever grow the company. You might make enough if you're a one-man show and have one van, but you're never going to expand. You're never going to advertise to get more. You just simply can't do it. So you end up behind the 8 ball when all of a sudden that one van needs an engine. Now you're like, now what do I do? So then you start taking money up front to pay for the engine, and eventually it all catches up with you and crashes.
Hey, Mark, I got a suggestion for Mark. What do you think of this? Neil Hollington, and he's not a sponsor, an advertiser, but he does offer a free consultation.
Well, no, I
so
love
what
that.
do you think of referring Ron for a free consultation?
I don't mind that, but I want him on, though. I want him to come on and talk about a scenario like this in general. Basically, the consultation he does need to do. We need to send all that paperwork over, but I really want his idea, because all he does is deal with contractors. When you finally get in front of a judge, does this contractor have any argument that holds any water whatsoever? That's kind of what I'd like to know. Like, if prices really do, let's take COVID real quick, and I'm curious of people's thoughts on this. So certain things you just simply couldn't get. I mean, certain things were astronomical. Cars were astronomical. So when something like that, and you entered into an agreement, and all of a sudden the deck you wanted to build and signed a contract for 15, they can't even get Trex now, and if they do, it's 10 times the price. Are they expected to literally lose $60,000 on a job? I don't know. There must be a reasonable amount. Go ahead, Nick.
Well, I know that during COVID, we actually had to address this very situation because so much of the materials that we were relying on could no longer be attained. And so we would have to constantly make changes.
Constantly?
Yeah. I mean,
did you have to raise prices?
Absolutely.
Yeah, you had to.
Yeah.
So did anybody ever fight you on it and say, hey, look, you said you would do this bathroom or this shower for $5,000 or whatever it is.
Right.
Now you're saying it's going to be 10.
Yeah, absolutely. That happened a lot.
Was it when the job was done or before it got going?
it would never be when the job is done. That's too late.
That's what the problem is with this deal.
Right.
They're telling him at the end,
Right.
too bad. They should have told him midway,
Right.
hey, I really got to restructure this. Or not even midway, at the beginning.
Absolutely. It should have been done in the beginning when you realize that the parts could not be attained.
And then it goes to this. Let's say it is at the beginning. You and I sign a contract with you for that $10,000 shower. Then before you even start, you reach out to me and go, look, I just simply can't get porcelain at that price, not even close to that. It's 5 times the amount, or whatever the deal is. Maybe
Right.
the fixtures, maybe Mr. Steam, if it's a steam shower, whatever all of a sudden is either not available or outrageous. Could I, what would happen if I said, too bad we signed this contract?
Well, I mean, again, it goes back to what your agreement language states.
Yeah.
And we had some very specific languages that had to be rewritten to basically account for this. If the job turned out to be priced incorrectly,
Yeah.
we would either have a conversation or we would have a dissolution. Thankfully, we've never had to dissolve
the language is in there.
Right, 100%.
So, hey, by the way, real quick, Ron, what is his contractor's name? Or what is his company name? Or both?
It's Tom Tellep at T. Anthony Construction.
Gee.
And once again, I don't want to disparage him. You know,
No, there's nothing to disparage.
Yeah,
I just
don't
want
wanna-
his side.
Yeah.
I personally agree with you on this. I think Tom probably did underbid it, and if there's nothing in that language, and we're going to get an attorney on and talk about it. So hold on. And Dimitri, see if we can't get that guy to come on or line him up. I'd love if he would just cold come on right now.
Yep. I just sent Kelly Neal Hollington's phone number,
Awesome.
so hopefully he'll be available.
All right, so listen, we're going to come back. We're going to try to get that attorney on. Rick's got an issue with Len Lyle Chevrolet. We're going to figure out what's going on. We got 2 lines open. 303-713-8255, 303 Martino.
So Nick, explain
Yeah.
to me. We signed a contract for $10,000.
Right,
Right? You say you can't do it for $10,000.
right.
What happens then if I say, look, you signed the contract, I'm suing you for a specific performance?
I'm good.
Are you forced to do it?
No, absolutely not. In fact, so, you know,
He's saying there's language in his contract that would.
yeah, I have language in my contract because I have sales reps, designers, and those guys go out and sell a job. And if they underbid a job, and I'm not going to lose,
Hold on, guys.
I'm not going to lose money.
The Art of Granite, Mitch Floria, the most beautiful countertops. He's done so many projects in our house. 3 bathrooms, a laundry room, part of our kitchen. Doesn't matter if it's quartz or granite, any hard surface, he has it. He never marks up the price of the countertop itself. He only charges for the installation, the fabrication. He can go around the tub like he did in our master bathroom, all the windowsills. He can upgrade that house. It's absolutely unbelievable. A very good businessman. TheArtofGranite.com. In fact, right now, if you get the kitchen done, you get the bathroom for free. They also have great financing, and they can give you a quote right over the phone. TheArtofGranite.com. Vestera Investments, T. Martino and Wave 8 got involved with Barry Miller. The bottom line is they know where to buy a house that's going to appreciate. You buy it, you own it, it's all yours. You know, no red tape to go around. You can sell it, you can borrow from it, you can do whatever you want. And when it appreciates and you sell it, you make the money. They have listeners that have made over 50%. You got to check them out, VesteraTurnkey.com.
What are y'all's thoughts about that? The bath companies that are pricing over the phone?
What do you mean over the phone?
Well, give me a price over the phone.
Well, like discount baths. So you go there, and at the bottom, you basically, here's what you got to do, though. You take out your phone, and you upload a video
Right.
of what's going on and then what you want done.
Right.
And basically, they'll look at it. They'll give you a very, very rough estimate, but that's where they're sending the appointment to go out there and talk about different options
Oh, okay.
and stuff like
So they
that.
don't sell it, they just kind of,
They definitely don't sell it over the phone.
oh yeah. Because my thinking is you can get eaten alive by asbestos or lead.
Oh, my God, yeah, you
Yeah.
wouldn't know.
You know
So
what I mean?
just to finish our conversation.
Yeah.
What kind of language do you have in your contract that we agree on for $10,000?
It clearly states that we reserve the right to cancel a job if the job was not priced correctly at the table.
Okay.
Yeah.
So before you sign the...
It's
Yeah.
signed.
What?
Yeah, it's signed.
But when he starts work, that's where that would end.
Yeah, so what we do, our process is very simple. We have a sales rep that goes out, the job comes back to the office. I review it or someone else reviews the project. We then hand it over to the production. The production does a cost of goods analysis to make sure that we're, maintaining a 38% cost of goods. If we are, then the job gets green lighted to be ordered. Does that make sense? So if it comes in like at 55, 60%, I mean, I'm not going to lose money just to do it for experience. I'm way past that. Yeah. So that's how I handle that. Does that make sense?
Excuse me?
Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, we've kind of got it dialed down. Again, I'm not saying every job is 38, but we sure try to keep it right around that 38% cost of goods. And we have electronic digital pricing tools, so they just press select on the item, and it automatically orders those materials. So, but in the past we've had it where sales reps could kind of fudge this.
Then you used to do Kohler.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but that problem has. I mean, I don't even know who has it now.
Yeah. Okay. No, I was just curious. For some reason I was associating you with Kohler.
Yeah, we were the first Kohler dealer here, and it was a good product, but it had its inherent problems as well. And so, we went to American Standard. We've been selling American Standard products, but realistically, the porcelain's where it's at. Because we have all these other low end stuff too. I sell those things, but like 10% of our stuff is that everybody wants the porcelain because it's about the same price. And it looks ridiculous. Yeah, it really does.
So it's just one sheet.
Yeah, per wall.
Yeah.
You up to 63 inches.
Right.
Yeah, it's pretty good. So, how's Tom doing?
He's a little setback right now, but he'll be fine.
Good.
Yeah. The cancer's gone. Numero uno is the cancer's gone.
That's beautiful.
So, but that surgery is something, man. That surgery, he's described it on air, but
I know.
Basically 25% of his stomach's gone. 20% of his pancreas is gone. Gallbladder's completely gone. Jeez. And, I mean, then they got to rewire your digestive system. Yeah. So, he's learning. Your stomach's smaller, so you eat the normal amount,
right,
and your brain thinks it's right, but after that food starts moving and digesting, you're like, oh, shit.
Where'd it go?
Yeah, so, I mean, he's working through it.
It probably gets filled very quickly, so that alleviates the problem a little bit. It's like people who have that band put on.
Yeah, it's like the lap belt.
Yeah. They eat less because they get full quicker.
All right, 303-713-8255. We're trying to get, we got a lot cooking. Actually, tomorrow we're going to have an attorney out for that first caller. That HOA problem blows me away. It just blows me away. You pick out a color, and she didn't notice it, but the bottom line is the HOA had it wrong. In fact, I put up a poll on YouTube. I want to check that out. But while I'm pulling that up, the other thing we're working on is getting a contractor attorney. This poor guy who we have been talking to, Ron, he basically had an agreement to build a garage, and the guy's like, I haven't made enough money. I'm basically done, at least according to Ron. So we're going to get a attorney on that does nothing but deal with contractors and get some thoughts from them. Now, meantime, as I'm pulling this up, Rick, what is going on, man? Hey, Rick? Rick again. Rick again.
No, is it?
Hey, Rick.
Calling for me? This is Taylor.
Oh, Taylor, I'm sorry. Hold on. I don't know how that happened. Taylor, what's going on with you? I'm going to switch your name out here. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah. So I purchased a 2018 Ford truck from Len Lyle Chevrolet in late January. Immediately, I noticed that there was something wrong with the transmission, and I brought it back to them. And they said they can't really fix it because they're a Chevrolet dealership, and they didn't really know how to diagnose it. So I took it to a Ford dealership, got a diagnosis that said replace the transmission. So Len Lyle said, well, maybe we got another idea. We'll try to fix it. We got another partner.
Hey, Taylor, let me cut you off real quick here. So when you bought this thing, tell me again when you bought it.
January 24th.
All right, January 24th, and then you said almost immediately, like what, within the week or within the day there were just problems?
Yeah, correct.
And what were the problems? Like what were they? It wouldn't go into gear. It wouldn't shift. What were the problems?
It was shifting really funny. It seemed like it didn't know when to shift at certain times. Like it would kind of jump.
Interesting.
And bounce a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it was evident.
But yes.
And you bought it as is, I assume.
Yes.
Did you buy any kind of warranty with it?
No, it was a cash as is.
Okay, keep going then. So you brought it back, and they said, we can't fix it. You bring it over to a Ford dealership. They basically said the transmission is toast. You bring it back. They say, Lynn Lyle says, well, we've got another idea. You realize at this point they really don't owe you anything. In order to keep their name good, they should do something. They basically sold you something that didn't work, but keep going.
Yeah, and totally. They've been great. And so they offered it, and they fixed it and returned it to me.
Oh, nice.
Right? Sounds great, but that was in February. It's been returned as fixed now almost 5 times.
Hey, what are they doing to it? Why does it keep having this problem?
And I don't quite know. They basically replaced the whole transmission electronics to the computer. So it seems to be having the same problems. And I basically was fed up with it. I took it back to Len Lyle and said, because I'd been sort of dealing with this other mechanic now that Len Lyle kind of was using. So
hey Taylor, they literally put a rebuilt transmission in it though at one point.
But, yeah, potentially I think that they rebuilt it first, and then so it's gone through all this, but it's been through numerous checkpoints. Even Ford looked at it and said it was fine a couple weeks ago.
So if I drove it right now, I mean, I would definitely know what you're talking about. It's that bad.
Definitely, it gets stuck in 10th gear when you're on the interstate, and you get off the interstate, it won't downshift into first, so you have to turn it off and turn it back on.
That's crazy. Hold on a second. Hold on. This is an interesting deal. Hey, Kelly, get Jeff Vick on for me. Everybody hold tight. 303 Martino.
That was my first impression. Call Jeff.
Can you believe that? Imagine it gets into 10th gear on the highway, and you go to exit, and it won't go out of 10th gear until you turn it off and basically reset it. Sounds like a computer problem.
I didn't know that F-150s have 10 gears.
Yeah.
Really?
These new transmissions. Although, that's a 2015, I guess. 18?
Yeah.
Got it.
But 10 years?
Wow. Yeah, 7 years, but yeah.
I mean, I don't drive trucks, though.
Yeah, that's all I drive.
My Subaru had 3 gears.
Right. Yeah.
And now I have an electronic with just no gears.
Yeah, that's crazy. Oh, yeah, right. Digital.
I love my electric car. He loves his.
Yeah.
But
I've been looking at it. There's a hybrid I've been looking at. It's real nice.
I'll tell you, the one thing I've learned is that when my house is only a year and a half old, so it came with a...
All right, hold on, Doc. Mark Szymanski owns Genesis Total Exteriors. I don't care if you need a paint job on the outside of your house. I don't care if you need new siding, windows, doors. What I love, what he's really gearing up for right now is decks. This guy has one of the best crews out there. They can come out, design a deck, repair your deck. They can convert maybe the infrastructure of your deck to Trex if you want to do that. They can add onto your deck. They can help you with a fence if you need a new fence. When it comes to the outside of your house, Genesis Total Exteriors rock and rolls. They have done numerous different projects for us. When they painted our house 5 years ago, the exterior, it still looks brand new to this day. It looks like they painted it. He's had some of the painting crew for over 20 years. Omar's the guy that did our house. Check him out, GenesisTotalExteriors.com. That's GenesisTotalExteriors.com.
What I was going to say.
I did that for obvious reasons.
You have it built into your garage.
Yeah.
It's a pain in the ass trying to find.
Right.
But, I come home at night, plug it in, it's fully charged in the morning.
Right.
And you never have to worry about it.
You're sure it's an 18, right?
Yeah.
But without that.
He said that.
Without that, it's a pain.
Yeah.
To try and find a charging station. Sit there.
My son just bought a house down in Sterling Ranch, and as a year-old guy bought the house, put solar throughout the whole house, put all the stuff for the charging ports, and then sold the house to my son. And now my son bought a Tesla as a result.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and so he doesn't pay anything for the utilities, obviously, for that. And he says utilities are nothing. He doesn't have any.
Yeah.
So.
And he loves his smart.
Yeah,
I'm talking about his.
You have a Tesla?
I got 2 Teslas.
Yeah, so you're a fan.
I'm a big fan. One I just rolled over 50,000. I'm just waiting for the refresh on it to buy a new one.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
You think of, I've never had it anywhere. They do software updates, and I put 4 tires on it, right around 33,000.
So, what do you think of the hybrids?
I hate hybrids.
Yeah.
I did own one. I owned a Hyundai Sonata.
Right.
It got totaled.
Right.
Nothing to do with it. I mean, I never had any problems with it, but it got totaled. It only had like 20,000 miles. So,
wow.
But I also got a Santa Fe. So we got a new Santa Fe, and then we have 2 Teslas.
Nice.
I have to have at least 1 gas, though.
Yeah, the problem with the hybrids is you have 2 systems that can go bad.
Double the trouble. Yeah.
I usually sell stuff for it's out of warranty, so that kind of stuff doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
But there was one that had problems with the battery. I forget which one it was. It might have been, I don't remember.
Yeah.
It wasn't mine. It was just a caller had problems with it.
Right. Well, yeah, I'm
Oh, no. I'm sorry. I got that wrong. It was that nut lady you helped out who had the weird noise that only you and her could hear. That was a hybrid, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yeah. That was the one I was thinking about. No one else could hear the noise.
except for him.
Yeah, it's so if you intensify it, yes, most people can hear it, but he's got a good knack for it, and it drove her crazy.
He's a car whisperer.
It's somewhere in the ultrasonic range, so most people can't hear it.
Yeah, I couldn't.
But some people can hear it.
Well, it's
I'm one of them.
Yeah, you can get it.
Turned it out.
That's awesome. That's funny.
And Kevin from Sharon Autotech.
Uh-huh.
All three of us went for a test drive.
Right.
And I was like, holy shit. It's
You could
horrible.
really hear like
It hurt my ears.
Wow.
And Kevin was like, what are you talking about? What noise? Are you talking about that wind noise?
yeah.
It was
That's crazy.
But we lucked out. The service writer at
Yeah.
Mile High Honda could sense it too.
Interesting.
So he's like, yeah, you guys aren't crazy. I can hear it.
Yeah.
Even though other people over there couldn't.
Yeah.
But they got it fixed.
Good for them.
Yeah.
Good for them.
That guy was awesome. Returned the car with a full tank of fuel,
Mhm.
no charge.
Right. It's good to go. Yeah. That's awesome.
Gave her a free loaner
No kidding.
and filled her car with fuel.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. That's rare.
Mile High Honda.
They're good guys.
In this, yeah, I've never had a complaint about them, and the way they treated this lady was like royalty,
Right.
even though everybody thinks she's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
It turns out,
We're all a little bit crazy.
yeah. And she might be crazy, but in this case, she was right.
Yeah. I know exactly what you mean. So. Yeah, it's gonna be a nice weekend.
Uh-huh. It's the weather's fine.
Looks like
All right, 303-713-8255. We got 2 lines open. You've been ripped off or taken advantage of. Man, we have had a plethora of different issues today, and we love digging into these. I want to get every one of these solved. I want to get attorneys for people that need them. I want to get experts like Jeff Vick up. Hey, Jeff, this one's crazy, man. 2018 Ford F-150. He bought it from Lynn Lyle, and it had problems basically as soon as he drove it off the lot. The transmission would basically not shift right or jump around. He explains it as just crazy. I mean, nothing felt right. Lynn Lyle actually stepped up to the plate and sent him over to some place. He didn't have any warranty on it. Sent him over to some place that fixed it. At one point, they rebuilt it. At one point, it sounds like they might have bought a rebuilt and put it back in. But it's still acting horrible. And here's why I wanted you on. One, I don't know what's going on with that that vehicle? Is there known problems with the transmission in it? And the second is, here's what it's doing. I've never heard of this. On the highway, it'll get up to the highest gear. And Taylor, you said it's got 10 gears?
Correct.
So,
yeah.
If it gets into 10th gear, Jeff, and then he exits the highway, it won't get out of 10th gear. How do you finally get it home then?
Yeah, sometimes I just shift it into park, turn it off, or do multiple shifts, and it gets lucky, like it wakes back up.
So, Jeff,
I had to take off in 4th gear.
They have worked on this thing no less than 5 times. And basically, is it still doing almost the exact same thing, Taylor, from the day you bought it, or is the problem changed?
It's pretty much the same thing. Potentially other things have tacked on, but it's for the most part the same thing.
Hey, Jeff, just any ideas on the problem?
Well, there's multiple ideas on the problem. That unit's been extremely problematic for Ford since the day they put it out. Torque converter problems, valve body problems, computer problems. So there's a plethora of different avenues that we would attack that, depending on what we were able to see on a scope.
Oh my God, man! Where are they at now with it, Taylor?
Well, so the mechanic had gone through all the steps. They thought that they had it. They took it to a Ford dealership. I'm not sure which one. Ford had drove it around with the diagnostics on it and approved it. They returned it to me, and I drove it 100 miles, and it started, error engine or check engine lights popping on and everything.
So now it happens all the time.
Yeah, and I have a...
No, hold on, though. I'm saying this for Jeff's sake. So they signed off on it, that whatever Ford dealership, you literally drove 100 miles with no problem. Then it started doing this all the time again.
Correct.
Jeff, what the hell does that point to? How do they fix it for 100 miles? And then I want to ask this too, Taylor. When they swapped out the transmission or rebuilt it, did it work for 100 miles or 500 miles or what?
That's correct. Basically, every time I've received it, it works until I essentially get it on the highway and it needs to shift up or down from there, and that's when it kind of...
Yeah, but when that first 100 miles, it wouldn't matter, right? In other words, when you got it back, you could get on the highway, get on a side road, get anywhere. It worked fine. Then all of a sudden it didn't.
Pretty much, yeah.
Jeff, what the hell would cause that?
Again, we've got to go through the plethora of problems on it. I mean, we've gotten some of the valve bodies that we replaced on them. We've gone through 3 or 4 of them before we've been able to actually ship a vehicle. They're bad right out of the box.
Oh my God! What a piece of junk! I thought the F-150 was like the #1 selling truck in the world. How is it #1 where you've got one that it just doesn't work? That's crazy.
That 10-speed is leaving a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths. I mean, the primary problems we first saw with them was spinning the bushing out of the CDF drum. It was probably the most common problem. But then once you start working on them, even buying Ford product, some of this stuff has come bad right off the line.
Oh, man. So that 10-speed is not used in most of them?
A wide variety of them. It's not only used inside the F-150s, it's used in some of the Mustangs. It's in a lot of their lines, both Lincoln and Ford itself.
Jeff, usually I beat people up here. Did you get the vehicle checked out? Taylor, did you get the vehicle checked out?
Oh, when I bought it from them?
Yeah.
Yeah,
did you have someone look at it?
Fine.
What?
Oh, no.
Yeah, so, I mean, that was stupid. I'll just say it for what it is. You should have had someone look at it because really you bought it as is, and they are trying to help you. But, man, I mean, my God, they sold you a piece of crap. So where do they stand right now? Did you tell them, hey, just get me into something else? Will they trade you out of it? Will they give you a refund? Are they offering anything?
They offered to trade me out, but they don't have anything of equal value. I'd have to spend, tens of thousands more to get into a truck that they have.
Well, at least the truck would run. I mean, I get it. Would they give you a refund?
Right. No, they will not do that. I've tried that a couple of times, and they will not do that.
Oh, my God, man. I mean, your options, your legal options, in my opinion, suck. I mean, really.
That's what I think. And I don't know what to do. I can't.
Okay, I got an idea. I got a good idea. where are you located anyhow?
I live in Arvada.
Okay. If Jeff, a diagnostic on this in real time money, I mean, just give me an idea, because eventually, if he can't afford to get traded out of this, which generally is not the best idea, he needs to get it fixed. But I wonder if you diagnosed it, and tell me if I'm just crazy because these things are so bad, but can you diagnose it and then they know what to do to fix it, or that's just insane because there's so many different problems, you might have to do multiple things in order to get to the next part?
Yeah, just a couple hours with it and see if we can't pinpoint it down like that. The nice thing is, if it does turn out to be inside the unit itself, if they install the Ford unit, that thing came with a 3-year, 100,000-mile warranty, so he should be able to get that swapped out at no charge.
Well, okay, hold on, Taylor. How come Ford hasn't just put a new transmission in it when they apparently sent it over to a Ford dealer?
Yeah, and I think that they'd be willing to try again, but my mechanic is going to have to take it to Ford and fight with them, I guess. I don't know, or the mechanic that had replaced it in the first place. See, I don't even really know who I'm dealing with anymore.
Yeah, I get it. I get it. Jeff, what do you think that would cost to, well, let me ask you this. If you just hook a scanner up to it, is there such thing as taking a quick peek at this, and then if something isn't just right in your face, what does it cost to, get to the root of this problem, man?
$175 to actually do the diag. Those 10 speeds were actually really, really bad about not throwing codes even when they are going bad.
Got it.
Particularly when, like I said, that CDF drum spins out. So you'll have all sorts of complaints from the customer, but nothing to chase it with through the scanners.
So you're $175 for the diag on it?
Correct.
Well, Taylor, I mean, I think that's a great idea, and I know Jeff personally for years. He's going to figure out what it is. And the other thing he said that I love, that if he can give the documentation to the Ford dealership, I think you bring it directly to Ford. That 100,000-mile, what warranty was it? 100,000-mile what?
It's 3 years, 100,000.
How many miles are on it, dude?
140.
Well, there goes that.
Miles for the unit that they put in.
Oh, yeah. Well, okay, we're assuming that was a Ford unit. How many miles when you first bought it, Taylor? Probably right around there, right?
Yeah. 139, yeah. I mean, I haven't been able to put more than 300 miles.
You know what? Here's the other thing we got to do. Listen, I know legally they sold it as is, but my God, the guy's got 1,000 miles on it. How long have you had this damn thing? And whoever they send you to apparently can't fix anything because you've been there 5 times, and they're driving it over to the Ford dealer, and the Ford dealer's basically missing something. I mean, you're so in the middle of this thing, it's crazy. So I do have a problem with Len Lyle at this point. For God's sake, I get it. You sold it as is. But the guy's had it for how many months, Taylor?
4.
4 months, and he's driven less than 1,000 miles, and the vehicle's probably been out of his possession, and you have nothing to trade him in unless if it's $10,000 or $20,000 more. I think we get these on. Hey, Jeff Vick, I think you need to look at it too, and I think, Taylor, you need to get it to Jeff and figure out what's going on with it, and I'm going to have one of our deputies call over to Len Lyle, because they should do something for you. Do they have to legally? No, not in my opinion whatsoever. So I'll be very clear on that, Len Lyle. In fact, I think you've been doing pretty good, with the exception everything you tell them to do doesn't work. Hold on. By the way, Jeff Vick, Kimmer Transmission, thank you. 303-693-1400. And I'll tell you this about Jeff. He can fix any transmission out there. He's that good. And his pricing is great. And, ready for this? He's fast. Thank you. Maybe not too fast.
Gently fast.
What's that?
Gently fast.
He's gently fast. Okay, Red Rocks. Any luck on that contractor? Or I'm
The
sorry.
lawyer. Kelly said that it goes to voicemail. He's out of the office.
Got it. Let's have, I'll tell her. Red Rocks Roof and Solar. Brooke was in studio yesterday. Man, if you have an old solar system that broke, she can help get it fixed. Her crew knows how to fix any system out there. And if the panels, for example, are under warranty, she'll actually get it warrantied for you. Now, you're going to have to pay labor unless the manufacturer picks that up, but she'll warranty anything that's possibly still under warranty to help you out. On top of that, if you need a new solar system, you're going to get the best price out there. And then with commercial systems, with grants and tax credits, you can possibly get a system completely paid for. Check it out at redrocksrs.com, redrocksrs.com. That's some. So we'll get Ron lined up with that guy. Plus, we left a message. Kelly left a message for T. Anthony anyhow.
Oh, yeah.
Or Tom.
No, for T. Anthony. Tom at T. Anthony.
Yeah, Tom at T. Anthony. God, it's like, get your vehicle checked out. But also, don't sell shit that's fucked up. It's evident he didn't do anything. You got to take care of the customer at some point.
I had a call this last week. I had a job we did 2020. And there's a leak. And
5 years ago?
5 years ago.
What's the leak? Where is it? Like behind the...
It's on a valve.
Is it behind the porcelain?
No. It's underneath. Okay. It's underneath. So, I had to go fix it. I didn't have to, but I did. And she still got ugly with us. And I'm like, well,
even after 5 years?
Yeah. After 5 years, I said, look, here's what I'll do. I'll cover the parts. You just pay for any labor. And I think that's usually fair. She wasn't having it.
Wow.
So
you just did it?
Yeah, I sent my plumber right over.
I'm dealing one now on a referral list. He's crazy. I said, you got to just refund this guy the money. The guy's just insane. I mean, he's dealing with somebody that's going to haunt him forever. He really didn't start the work. He's got a little time and effort into it, but
right.
He didn't really start it, but he took $16,000 down, and he's just being a real bitch about refunding it.
Oh, man.
I mean, he's crazy. He's asking for more trouble. I mean, he's got the contractor. He's got the contract signed and everything like that. In fact, we're upgrading referral lists, so I might be locked out, but I think I actually took him down.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not saying I did yet. No, he's still up. I can't get into the back end to change shit until the upgrade's done.
Yeah.
Is this regarding the fire damage to
Yep.
Springs?
Sure is.
I remember that call.
I'm pretty pissed at Rock. I'm like, dude, it's like, first of all, you're just doing it. It's just a bad decision. Unless you really got money tied up in this, and I don't see where you do, I just think it's a bad decision.
Just
part ways. And if you did a couple grand worth of work, that's fine. Whatever.
He didn't get rid of it.
Well, if you think about it, I mean, even if he's running 20% net profit on a $16,000 job, $3,200 to fight, what's the fight worth?
I have no idea.
Yeah. I mean,
Is that about the average that contractors make?
EBITDA.
It's a big contract.
Oh, I think he said 16,000.
That's what he put down.
Oh.
The whole job's probably a couple hundred.
Oh, that's different. Then that's like 40 grand.
But a general contractor could usually expect about 20%. That's it. I assumed it was like 50-60%.
I wish.
If you were a one-man crew or something.
Yeah, if you did the
no
work.
overhead work
Yeah,
in
if
your
you did the
basement.
work, then yeah, but
Yeah, I know a guy done in.
Okay,
San Antonio.
Dimitri?
303-713-8255. Hey, Kelly, where'd you leave it with that guy? Did you get Len Lyle's number? Kelly. I don't know why I can't hear you.
Yes.
Oh, there you go.
There you go. Sorry about that. Yes, I did. And I tried to call,
The service department.
I did.
Or actually the sales department.
Actually-
I guess it doesn't matter who we talk to over there.
And I also called Dimitri's contact and left a message. So we're kind of
Oh, you got a contract? Oh, you mean for the other guy, T. Anthony?
Yes,
Yeah, that's the other call.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
So
the other call.
is he still on the line?
Yes.
So Ron, we're going to get you on with this. We've done two things. One, we left
Yeah.
a message
Yes.
with T. Anthony Construction.
Yes.
And they know where to reach back to us, right, Kelly?
Yes.
And then on top of that, we reached out to the construction attorney. And as
Yes.
soon as we hear back, it's going directly to voicemail. He's probably in court. As soon as we hear back from him, we're going to line you up with the attorney to come on air, okay?
But are you assigning a deputy to this case?
Which one? T.
The-
Anthony?
No.
T. Anthony, just so we all know, Dimitri, you're on T. Anthony.
I'll be happy to help.
Okay.
And then on this one with Len Lyle, yes, Doc.
Okay.
Doc will call over to Len Lyle and figure out what's going on. Go ahead, Doc. You can talk. What are you saying?
I was gonna call them after we speak to Jeff Vick, so I can say, look, this is what the problem is. Can you fix it? Talking to them now is
We
not.
just talked to Jeff Vick. He said it could be a plethora of problems.
Right, but he's going to bring it to Jeff to find out what's wrong.
Is he going to bring it over to Jeff Kelly? Did he say that?
I gave him all of his information and the address and everything, so
Yeah.
he's going to try to do that. Yes.
I think that's a great idea, too, if he got over there. But, Doc, I still want you to call Len Lyle and just ask him, say, look, this guy drove off. We know you've attempted to fix it. Can he just get out of this deal? I mean, this is insane. It's been going on 4 months. We understand, explain that we know that they sold it as is, I get it. Legally, they probably did nothing wrong, but my God, they sold a guy an expensive truck that hasn't worked from the day he got it. Maybe they should, just for the sake of their own name, do it, because I don't know if he's going to bring it over there. So make that call. Hopefully he does get it over to Jeff to figure out what's going on. But I can't believe they sent him to somebody that can't even get the thing fixed. I mean, I really just don't get that. Now, during the break, we were talking about refunding people, and I was talking to Nick about that. I'm going to talk about that coming up. And I'm dealing with one internally right now that's driving me crazy. That's on the referral list at this moment, but I'd like people's opinions on it. We do have lines open. 303 Martino, get your call in right now. I got to figure out when the hell that is going to be unlocked. Let me make sure it isn't unlocked. Fucking still locked. Wow, she already landed.
Was she texting me in the air?
No, she just landed.
Oh, okay.
It was only to Tulsa.
Oh, okay.
Tiny little plane, man. It was a jet, but it was like a United little, something you'd take up to like Vail or something.
You got a little one seat on each side. Those are always kind of leery, yeah.
Weird. Sean Diddy Combs. Tell me this guy's not. I mean, not only is he a murderer, but tell me how nuts you are. He shoots the two people. Then he walks inside and gets a glass of water. And then like 10 minutes later,
Like it's nothing.
yells out some shit and he's arrested. I mean, it's crazy. Hey, see if you can't get that back end unlocked, even just for a minute or two. I don't know how that works, but fuck, man, it's been locked for like a week during this upgrade, and I gotta take down one dude. Right. Hey, you know what, Kelly? I do
Yes?
want that guy on, that guy that left a message with Rock. I do want him back on right now.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yep. I want to figure out where it fell through. You know what Rock said to him? Listen to this, guys.
Well, he has been.
I'll probably do this on the air, but this is,
He's been.
I thought,
quite
okay. How do you argue with this? I really thought that.
Okay.
Here he is right here.
I only have a few things going on, but okay.
Jesus. Oh my God. Now I remember why this guy's a pain. 45 texts.
Oh, shit.
Oh, there's more than that, actually.
Dude, I would never stay in a deal with somebody who sends me 45 text messages.
No.
There's zero chance.
Yeah.
Okay, here's what he put.
Hello, Steve.
So the guy was mad he didn't start on time with the contract, and he was also mad he wanted to charge a lot of money for a test that apparently a different plumber would do for a lot cheaper. Whether that's true or not, I have no idea.
Right.
Mr. So-and-so, we'll do the job. If you're not 100% satisfied in the end, we'll refund every dime. If we miss one scheduled date without proper notification, we'll quit and refund every dime. We'll go live on the air, meaning here, and admit we are failures. We just have to run the job. We'll show you everything we do and even put pics on the radio website for the world to see. We just need to run the job. So I told him, I said, you're crazy. That very first sentence, this guy already fucking hates him. Yeah. This guy cannot stand Rock to the point where, I mean, they're arch enemies. It's like the Joker and Batman at this point.
Yeah.
To put, we'll do the job if you're not 100% satisfied. So then I jumped in. I says, that sounds extremely fair. And then I told Rock in a separate test, I said, you're nuts, man.
Let it go.
You got to let this go, because if you actually go through with what you're saying here, you're going to do a $200,000 job.
And not get paid.
And the guy's going to say, I'm not satisfied.
Exhibit A.
Yeah. See this? Yeah, that's a tough thing. And some people are just, they don't want to lose.
See if Rock wants to come on. Tell him I'm having Steve on.
Yes, sir.
Out of, let's say, out of every 100 proposals that you provide, what percentage would you say turn into a signed contract?
40%.
Wow. Yeah. Dude, that's an awesome closing rate.
Yeah. I close it.
Yeah, I can't go number 2 anymore.
It's different.
Hey, I'm getting ready to go back on. Can you get them to unlock that? Or
Yeah. It depends on the route.
Just that. Okay.
Difference is just
I just got to get one of them off there, the one I emailed to you. I mean, it's becoming a fucking problem.
Yeah.
All I got to do is suspend them or delete them. Why don't you ask them to do it? Tell them suspend. You know who I'm talking about? Thank you. Yeah. See if they'll do that. Bye. There we go.
So you have people who are nothing but sales reps like that.
I got five sales reps.
Holy crap!
I was running 12 during COVID.
Yeah, because everybody was doing upgrades.
We were what were they calling people that could come out of their house? There was a certain word.
Could or couldn't?
It was good. Get people, like contractors, liquor stores, and weed stores.
$. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Bills. That's bills. Enter it now at khow.com. Keep listening to win on 630 KHOW.
Yeah. Ripped off, bad news. You need advice so you don't have to lose. We'll come running just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help the common man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Welcome, my friends, to the only show of its kind. We are here to help you. We're here to solve problems, answer questions, take complaints, make your life a little bit better. If you've been ripped off, maybe a bad contractor, a bad car deal, a bad anything, that is what this show is for. We help people with landlords all the time as well. The phone number is easy, 303-713-8255, 303 Martino. I also have a contractor, speaking of a great contractor, in studio with me, Nick Fox with Renew Home Innovations. Nick, you guys do some of the most beautiful bathrooms out there. What is the number one thing you guys do? Is it like a full remodel, just a tub to shower conversion, anything in between? What is your specialty?
Well, we specialize in full bathroom models. You know, obviously, we're able to do any level of a project, whether it's doing a porcelain shower system, which is absolutely an incredible product line.
That's your number one, right?
Yeah, that's the one that we really, really like it because it differentiates our company from any other company in the market. And so,
why does it?
It's not an easy product to work with, but we've mastered the process.
What is the pluses of porcelain?
Well, simply put, it doesn't peel, it doesn't chip, it's non-porous. It's very easy to keep clean. It looks absolutely stunning.
Could you use something? I'm just curious. I mean, I have a porcelain shower.
Right.
And for some reason, I was asking about quartz and granite and other stuff, and I was told you can't use that. Maybe that's because I had a steam shower.
So porcelain, quartz, stone type products are the only things you really can use for steam showers.
Got it.
Yeah, so you couldn't use an acrylic or... You
it just gets too hot, or it just
it'll melt.
Saturates. Oh, it melts.
Yeah,
Boy,
it could change its conformity really easily.
Wow.
So,
but porcelain is where it's at.
100%.
Easy to clean.
Yeah, and looks amazing.
And you generally use one big sheet.
Yes.
So you don't even really see seams. There's no grout to clean.
Very few seams. That's the beauty of going with a porcelain product is that you can create a seamless shower, and you can have full wall patterns that just look absolutely stunning.
So you get into not just outside of the shower part. So the shower part, you can do whatever they want.
Of course.
They can do a basic thing. They don't have to use porcelain if they're on a big budget or on a small budget. But let's just say your normal customer. Do people ever go in and say, okay, in the closets back here, I would like to get kind of like that California style closet? Do you guys get into that part?
No, not really.
Just the bathroom.
Yeah, we really stay focused. We're centric to the wet space. Obviously we'll do the rest of the bathroom.
How about the fancy toilets? Do you sell a lot of those?
A lot of those.
Those are getting more popular.
Yeah, the bidets. Yeah, the bidets are incredible. They're very beneficial. Obviously.
Yeah.
There's a lot of value to them, and more people are starting to embrace them and see the value in having them in their home.
I'd say the biggest thing is on an older home, you got to run electric to it. I mean, it's not a huge thing, but right. I'm saying most people can't go out and just buy one and swap it out. They got to run power.
Right. You have to have a dedicated circuit for most of the integrated units, but you can buy seats that don't require a dedicated circuit. You just have a plug-in. But yeah, that's a great, nice feature for your home. It's your own personal space. I mean, we spend a ton of time in our bathroom.
Why American Standard? Oh, you know what? Actually, that's kind of funny. You do. You spend a ton of time. You shower. Of course, you go to the bathroom. You're just constantly, at least in the master bathroom.
Right. Yeah. And again, I mean, we like the American Standard products. We like the Kohler products. I mean, they're very nice.
Who's got the best warranty out of these? Or they're all similar?
You know, I'll tell you the truth. I used to feel that, you know, Kohler and American Standard had really strong warranties. But today, I mean, more and more the warranties are getting weaker. You know, you need to find someone that knows how to install it right.
Yeah.
And kind of hope for the best, because warranties aren't what they used to be. And that's just true.
And when you redo a shower, you have to do a new pan most of the time, right?
Every time.
Every single time.
Yeah, every time we do a new pan. And we do a really beautiful pan. It's an Encompass shower base. It's a solid surface, zero threshold shower where it has a linear shower. And we do most of our bathrooms have those in the space, and they look beautiful, just wonderful. And it's a local company that is up in Thornton.
How about pricing? Generally, compared to the competition, you're middle of the road, a little higher because you like that perfection, a little lower. Where are you at?
So, you know, that's a great question, and the reality is, I think there's a price point for everybody.
Nice.
And yeah, I mean, I think we have products that meet everybody's budget. You know, we're not just going. We're trying to help everybody that we walk in the door. So we provide different levels and options of products.
How does it work? So they call you up.
Yeah.
And basically you guys just head out. You set an appointment.
Right.
You go out. You talk to them about different options. Do people ever say, hey, I want like good, better, best scenario? You know, give me different options, and you'll write up different estimates?
So our system is, I think it's a pretty unique process. I mean, obviously, yes, they call us. We set up an appointment. We send out a trained designer who will actually come in, listen to what they want to accomplish, try to identify the best needs, find out what the problems are, and then provide them solutions based off of material selections. And we'll show them all of the options.
I bet a lot of times when your designers show up, it's funny you send out designers. I like that, because people think they know what they want, but they don't know the different options.
Right.
I bet a lot of times what they had envisioned is not what they end up with.
Tile.
Because they didn't. There you go. That's a perfect one. Tile.
Right. Yeah. Most people think that tile is the solution, and it's just kind of it's very rarely done today, even by most companies out there. Most companies are selling some type of solid surface product because it makes it easy to maintain.
So much better.
It's easy to take care of. I mean,
and it's just so new.
Right.
I mean, it's just looks great.
It looks incredible. It really does. And so I recommend looking at all the different options, figure out a budget that makes sense. And again, we price our jobs to sell, not to keep. So, you know, we're going to find a way to make a job affordable at all levels. And we know where those thresholds of propensity of investment should be. So
I really like that, man. I like the way you guys put it all together. Right. Now, would you say you guys, when they come out, are pretty low intensity? In other words, you're not doing a real hard sale?
Are we a pushy company? No, I think that by the time we really tell folks, you're going to have to look at a couple things. First, you have to have a product that you're going to love, find a company you're going to be comfortable with, and then, come up with a price that makes sense for everybody. And if it makes sense, generally people find a way to put it together while we're there. And that's really the way we work. And if it doesn't work, then we part as friends.
Yeah.
Because you never know what may change down the road.
Yeah.
And so,
How long you guys been doing it? I know you've been on the referral list. So many years, I don't remember, but how long you been?
Well, the business, we've been in business since 1996. We've been centric to bathrooms since 2007.
Wow.
So, yeah. And so
I like the fact you just look at that.
Right.
I mean, I really do, because a lot of people do everything.
Right.
I mean, let's just face it, everything.
Right.
I like the fact you're just in that one space in a house.
Right.
That's pretty cool, actually.
Well, the nice thing about that is you get an expert that's doing that project. They're not doing windows one day, a deck the next.
I think I've seen you on. Don't you guys do some of those news shows like on Channel 7 or Fox?
Yes.
I think I've seen you and possibly your wife with you.
Yes.
Is that right?
The better half, yes, absolutely. She makes us look good.
Yeah, that's really cool, man.
Yeah, thank you.
So check it out, folks. You guys want them to come out, get a bid on that? I would do it. 303-904-2000. 2000, 303-904-2000. You know, really, last question. I would say the bathroom and the kitchen are two areas in the house. Now, I'm not saying you'll pull the exact amount out. In other words, you got a $50,000 beautiful bathroom, you put a steam shower in, all this. I'm saying you might not build the value of the home by 50, but I bet you build it by pretty damn close. I think it's one of the two areas in the house, maybe a basement too, but two areas in the house that when I go look for a house, and my wife's with me especially, she's looking at the kitchen, she's looking at that master bathroom and the master closet, quite frankly. But I think it's one of the two items where you can get pretty close to your investment. I mean, if you use a company like you that's got great pricing. So if you use a good company and the job is done right, like these guys do, I think it builds that value you put into it. Maybe not 100%, but close. What do you think?
Well, you know, the best analogy I can give consumers is that when you're looking at doing bathroom models, you typically, the home valuation on the bathrooms is usually about 18 to 22%. So as long as you can keep your budget on your bathroom remodel projects wrapped around that number based off the value of your home,
then that's where it is.
Yeah.
You're saying that's the math.
Yeah, that's the math that most real estate agents would provide.
Do you ever have people come in, like we've redone every bathroom in our house at this point, every one.
Right.
And we did them one at a time. Do you ever have people come in and say, hey, this half bath, the kids' bathroom upstairs, and the master, let's just knock it out? I mean, does that happen or generally not?
So two things. Yes, we have a lot of customers that will have us do all their bathrooms. They'll make agreements to do them all.
Got it.
We will never pull down your home more than one bathroom at a time.
Yeah, okay.
We've lessons learned,
Because
right?
you got to be able to go. When you got to go, you got to go.
Yeah.
No, that's pretty good. I like what you guys do. So
thank you.
Listen, anybody out there, seriously, if you've been thinking about it, you might be shocked. Imagine your wife's face when she comes home and someone from Renew Home Innovations is there and you're talking about getting that bathroom done and getting a quote. Think of the smile on the face. Yeah. I mean, literally, it's like crazy. I waited so long on our master. I shouldn't have waited so long. I simply shouldn't have. And we did, but I should have done it 10 years ago when we bought the house. Yeah. I think a lot of people make that mistake.
You know, and it's interesting you say that. One of the things that we look at is, you know, what does the experience look like for your wife, for example? You know, what's important to her? I mean, I know that when I redid my own bathroom, one of the things that I really wanted to hit on was make sure I had proper lighting.
Yeah.
So that she could have a nice experience getting ready in the mornings and like that. So I made sure that we had proper lighting. But with the bathrooms, I mean, there's so many things you can do to create a spa-like experience.
And that's the most incredible part. We use our steam shower all the time, man.
Yeah.
So
live it.
But these guys, 303-904-2000. Now, look, I got a couple things going here. We got to take a break. Guy's got a problem with the Jeep Cherokee, but before that, Steve's got a problem with American Restoration. They're on our referral list. And I'm to the point now where we're just going to handle this on air. I'm going to see where they're both coming from, but I got to be honest. I think they both have points, but I'm a little upset that I'm still getting phone calls on this after I got involved weeks ago. Here's where I think we left off. Rock, who is the owner of American Restoration, said he was going to go ahead and basically give this guy a 100% guarantee that if he didn't like the job when it was done, and this is a pretty big job, the scope of work, I think it's over 100,000. I'm not even sure on the full amount, but it's got to do with finishing up the restoration and then rebuilding, and it's an entire house. And he offered the guy a guarantee, a 100% guarantee, Rock said. And I told Steve, well, my God, you got to do that. Why wouldn't you do that? He's going to do $100,000, $200,000, $300,000 worth of work. And he says if you're not 100% satisfied, he's going to refund the money. Well, I found that insane that Rock would even offer that. So my idea at that point was, Steve, I don't know how you have a choice not to take it. Have them putting it on the contract instead of just in the text, and let's move forward. And I thought all was said and done up until what time did he leave a message this time, Kelly?
Oh, it was...
I know the guy. So first of all, on Steve's side, I will say this. He doesn't get off work till 11, so he's not like the rest of us. But he left a message here at 3:45, and basically what did the message say? I haven't heard from either of them for weeks. I, honest to God, told Rock, you're crazy. Give the guy his money back. Giving him that guarantee, you're going to end up losing hundreds of thousands of bucks if you have it to pay him back.
Well, let's hear from them.
Well, we are going to hear from him, but what time did he leave that message? 3:45, but it was yesterday or tonight or today, however the hell that looks.
Early morning today.
All right, everybody hold on.
The tree farm.
So we are centric to Bass, right?
Yeah.
My background in the beginning was HVAC.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I did that for 25 years.
Were you a tech or you owned the company?
I owned Front Range Mechanical.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, we sold it in 2003.
Who'd you sell to?
Dorf, Stephen Korf. Yeah.
All right,
Still got it running. Anyway.
Fix It 24/7. Their website's fixmyhome.com. Listen, if you have not checked on that sump pump, we're going to probably, get a lot of rain, hail this year, a lot of water. And if you have not looked at that sump pump, had it cleaned, make sure it's operating, you're crazy. If it ever does not work, and especially if your basement is actually finished, it can be disastrous. These guys, for $49, they're going to come out and they're going to clean that sump pump, inspect it, and make sure it works. The water goes to where it's supposed to, which is not in the basement. $49. You're not going to get a better deal than that. The bottom line is their HVAC stuff is book solid. Their electrical's book solid. Their plumbing department, they got to keep the guys busy. So this is one way of doing it and introducing their company. If you have not had the sump pump, you might not even know if you had a sump pump. I find that crazy, but some people don't. I'll tell you this, if you're in Colorado and you have a basement, most likely you have a sump pump. But go to fixmyhome.com, get it set up, get it done, fixmyhome.com. Red Rocks Roof and Solar, Brooke was in yesterday. What a great company. You know, I call her a lot as an expert for solar on the show, and she's generally up on her roof installing solar or repairing solar with her guys. Everybody works for her. She's basically the main sales arm. She oversees every deal, but she's got a service department that can fix an old broken down solar system. They can install a battery backup to an existing system. They can sell you a new system and get all the tax credits and grant money that's available. She's really good at that. And then if you want a generator added on or an off-grid system, they do it all. And we trust them, and they know what they're doing. RedRocksRS.com. RedRocksRS.com. I want you guys to really... chime in on this one. I mean, I'm going to give them both.
Oh, the American Restoration?
Yeah. I mean, I'm so like literally, I am so over it. I can go either way. I think they're both unreasonable, and I think the deal should be undone. And if Rock did any work, he should charge him for that. But to hold this guy to the contract at this point, he's crazy.
Man, I just tell you, it's sometimes it's easier. Just
oh, absolutely. Not just sometimes, always.
I've walked away from so much money when I just knew it was going to be ugly.
It's not worth the misery.
Oh yeah.
And the fighting and
yeah.
The distraction from your proper business. You know.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, no, I'm too old. I don't got the energy. You know, that's how I look at it. Anyway, we're going back in the HVAC business. I signed up with Kohler today. I mean, Carrier.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So we're gonna.
But you're still doing this.
Oh yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Did you have a non-compete for a while?
5 years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's over.
So, okay.
Yeah.
We're gonna try to do like I kind of describe this as a detente.
As a what?
A detente. Rock is very reticent to come on with this guy. I don't know the backstory of what has gone on between. I just get the message.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay.
So I'm just letting you know.
Yep. Good radio. It's just got to be handled. It's just, honestly, this has been going on. How long has this been going on? Anybody remember? It's been going on forever.
Months at least.
I like that call.
Plurality of months.
Yeah.
But I believe that it all started with Steve having a problem that Rock was doing a test that another company did not want to do.
Remember that?
The crossing the double lines.
Yeah.
I had him in here. Or no, he wasn't in here. He was on the phone. Yeah. Did you get one?
I've gotten a few.
It's crazy. Did you?
We drive all the time.
But here's the problem. You ended up paying for the toll, right?
I paid a fine.
Yeah, but did you pay for the toll as well?
Sure I did.
Of course.
Guaranteed. Yeah.
That's what drives me insane.
Yeah. Yeah, no question about it. So, yeah, it's just, I'd like to talk to the guy. Because I think I got a stream of them for a minute there, and I wasn't realizing I was getting them, and then all of a sudden I got like a bunch. It was like $3,000.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah, no joke. And I told my wife, don't pay it. And she did it anyway. Yeah. Just to move it out of the way. It sucked. What are you going to do?
I'm sorry to hear that. That's really frustrating.
Well, now I'm trying to be really, really careful. I realized where I was doing it at was up north on where the I-76 and I-25 interchange. Right there. That's where I kept on getting them at. So I was coming over that line too early. So now I just wait. So anyway.
This guy.
Is he not worried about losing the relationship or?
House Studios. Trajan Wealth, your trusted local fiduciary advisors. TrajanWealth.com.
All right, 303-713-8255. By the way, this hour brought to you by Paul the Waterman. He was in yesterday. I know of no other company, no other plumbing company or water system that can get rid of the chlorine, soften the water, get rid of the PFAS, get rid of every bad thing basically in the water. I think he said 99.9%. It's a whole house system under $3,700. That's a special for this month. And it's a good time to get it. Simple as that. If you've been thinking about it, we're talking 2/3 lower than the competition. Other people charge $10,000 to $15,000 for that. Paul the Waterman at waterbros.net, only $3,700 for that entire system. You're going to love these guys. All right, now I'm going to go to Steve. Hey, Steve, I swear I thought we had this thing done. I have not heard from you for a decent period of time, maybe a week, 2 weeks. I forget right off. I thought we left it where Rock was going to go ahead, like his text said, and give you a 100% satisfaction guarantee, or else you would get a full refund. And I thought you were going to have him put that into the contract, and then you guys were going to move forward. The next thing I know, we got a message here early this morning. So where are we at with everything that didn't work out?
Well, first of all, he didn't want to put it in writing, and I told him, put it in writing, you sign it, I'll sign it, my attorney will sign it. Well, he didn't want to do that. He's pretty much ghosted me ever since. He hasn't spent $1 on my job.
All right, Steve, we're going to do this in a fair manner. So I asked you the question. Now, hold on. Hey, Rock, pretty straightforward. You made him that offer. He decided to take it, the 100% guarantee, or else you'd give him every dime back, which I thought was absolutely insane for any contractor or anybody to ever do, because you already know you can't satisfy this guy, but you did make him the offer. So what happened with that?
Originally he said he was going to write the contract, and I told him we'll write the contract. This is a very detailed type of thing that, we're writing the contract. And Mr. Wiederspond.
Hey, don't do that. Hey.
Steve.
Wait a second. Let me respond.
Don't use my last name.
Oh, excuse me. Steve, he responds, or he attacks in such a violent manner that communicating with him is very, very, very difficult. Little things, little communications, little steps are hard to make because.
Rock, are you willing to put that? Rock, here's where I'm at. Are you willing to put that guarantee in the contract?
100%.
What?
Yeah, I'll put it in the contract. We're going to take the time. We have to take the time to write it out such that it's very clear, and that doesn't happen overnight. We're not going to write something. We're not going to write something that we can't write an order we can't fulfill, or that's impossible to meet.
Steve, I'm going to end up having to put you on hold, man. So just hold on. You got to give him his shot at this. I mean, I don't know what else to say. And basically, I'm going to read what you put to both of us, Rock. And I mean, it was about as straightforward as it can get. And I apologize to everybody, but it takes me a second to find it because between the two of them, I've got 758,000 texts. Here's what you put. Mr., or I'll just say Steve, we'll do the job. If you're not 100% satisfied in the end, we'll refund every dime. And I called you, or I texted you, I forget, and I said, what are you, crazy, Rock? How would you possibly satisfy this guy? You could do everything correctly, and at the end, there is no possible way he's going to be satisfied. The guy can't stand you. And Rock, to be honest, if you've got a couple grand tied up into this, or $3,000 or whatever it is, I would keep that and refund him the rest and get him out of my life. For the life of me, why won't you just do that? He doesn't want to do business with you. And honestly, he's calling and texting me constantly. I don't understand why this is an issue. And then if you don't want to do that, refund is $16,000, then why don't you put in writing exactly what you said? Because now he's stuck on that.
Right, and I want to, but that's a very detailed thing that we have to do.
That is not a detailed statement, Rock. Listen, man, I've known you for years. I've never had an issue with anything you guys have done. But for the life of me, I don't know why this one's falling apart. But this is not, there's nothing detailed about this. It says, Steve, we'll do the job. If you're not 100% satisfied in the end, we'll refund every dime. What do you mean by detailed? You want to break down the meaning of satisfied? What are you talking about there?
Yeah.
Okay, but that's not what it says. I mean, listen, you guys are, you're kind of outsiders on this. You don't get to text. You're not in the middle. I've read this. I've showed this to you, Dimitri. What are you thinking right now?
I think it's pretty easy for me. If I would just want to cut bait and go. I mean, Rock, there's no way you guys are going to repair this relationship. This is just going to keep going and going and going.
Why not take what you have in the job, Rock, and refund the rest?
And also, if he's not 100% satisfied, there has to be a way to mediate. Someone's got to say, this is a false claim or this is a legitimate claim.
This guy, no, 100% satisfied means that. If I go into a restaurant and says, you're not 100% satisfied with that steak, it's free. All I got to do is say I'm not satisfied and I got a free steak. It's an absurdity. People will take advantage of that all the time. And Steve will take advantage of that. I have no doubt about it. But I go back to what Dimitri said. You know what, Nick Fox, I hate to drag you into this. You're in as a guest. But you've done 10,000 jobs, you've told me. 10,000 remodels. You've dealt with someone like Steve. And I don't even know if Steve, I'm not even saying Steve's the whole problem. Rock, you did start the job late and there was some issues. But for the life of me, what do you make of this?
Well, truthfully, I wouldn't want to be in someone's home or property if they didn't want me there. And
these guys are like fire and water at this point.
Yeah, I would definitely.
Some deals are just not
I would definitely do whatever it takes to end the relationship.
Why do you want to deal with this guy? What's your hesitancy? If you have some money in it, then fine, subtract it. Just give him an itemized list. Here's 10 hours of my time I spent talking to somebody or whatever it is, and then refund them the rest. What is the hesitancy?
We've put we've been with this project from the get-go for over a year and a half. I understand what what Steve has gone through. We want to be able to come back and show that we can handle difficult problems, because I've had more difficult problems that we've been successful on. And I want more than anything to come back on the radio and show that we've helped Steve get back into his home, and that his home is in a little condition, and that we've done the work. I don't back, I'm an American soldier, and we don't back down from a fight. And
Rock, for the life of me, I can't force you to do it. I think I think there's something wrong. Honest to God, I'm going to tell you my gut feeling. I think there's something going on here. Do you even have his money? Have you held that $16,000 in trust for his job?
Yes, we have the money. We'll give it back. We have the money. We just want to finish the job.
He doesn't want you to finish the job. This is insane. He is saying you're charging a lot more for different tests than he can get anywhere else. I don't know the validity of that, but I'm telling you, why don't you part ways? Would you do that for me? Would you guys part ways and refund him whatever he needs to be refunded minus what you've done?
I would like to talk to him and his lawyer. Before we do that, making promises, just off the hip like this, and making, statements off the hip, I don't think is a really good thing to do. I would like to sit down with him reasonably and then come to a conclusion. That would be great. If we could come to, a solid conclusion, that would be great. I think that would be best. If we can just come to an agreement, what
would the agreement be, Rock? Honest to God, okay, let's just ask him. Hey, Steve, would you like to sit down and have an agreement with him?
No, there's no conclusion here. He never started the job. He hasn't ordered any supplies.
So.
He hasn't transferred permits. He's done nothing. He hasn't turned a screw. Nothing. He's done nothing.
Can I respond to that?
Of course, Rock, and respond.
We were on this project for over a year and a half. I told him I would show him everything.
What does that mean? How have you been on it for a year and a half? How does that even make sense?
Exactly. It doesn't.
Steve, sure.
Let me finish. We were there just like the Marines when the fire first started. We gave him an estimate. We were there. We did the testing. And then, he said we were too high.
And he went with a different company. And the different company screwed up.
Right. Then we were there.
But then you came back.
Right. And
you haven't been on the job a year and a half, Rock. That I just don't think that was a fair thing. You might have been dealing with Steve for a year and a half, but you haven't been on the job for a year and a half.
Okay, we've been dealing with him for a year and a half. Then it took.
Oh, you have not.
Then
Steve.
He called us back on the job. Then he called us, and then it was another 6 months before we could even get things started. And I couldn't get my people together to wait 6 months. People have to do other jobs. We have other things to do.
Yeah.
And finally, after we got the go ahead after 6 months, we were getting things together. And when I came to him because I said I was going to show him everything up front, because the previous contractor did such a poor job and stole a bunch of money from him. I told him I would show him everything that we were going to do.
I don't know what any of this has to do with the current situation. He rehired you somewhere around January to do it. Somewhere that fell apart. You got $16,000 up front from him. He's saying you haven't done anything. I highly doubt you haven't done anything, but I think we can all agree you have not done $16,000 worth of work yet. Is that fair enough?
Correct.
Then why not refund him whatever's there and just part ways?
Exactly.
I'd like to sit down with him, and
I don't want anything more to do.
We need to sit down. Because
I want my money back. I want you out of my life.
He called us to do a job.
You just want to hold him. I got to put you both on hold. Rock just wants to hold him to this contract no matter what. And I'll be honest, Rock, I think you're tap dancing. I don't know what's going on over there. Your website's not up. I'm not sure if your phone number works. I'm not happy about this situation. So I hope you stay on the line while I do this break, but I'm going to be quite honest. I'm going to have to remove you from the referral list. This guy's calling all the time. He's so upset it's crazy. Something's going on here. I don't understand why you wouldn't part with this relationship in a million years. This is the most toxic relationship I have heard in a long time. Now I got to do a spot.
Rock is crazy.
Yeah. God, it's just nuts.
Give me 30 seconds.
You ever go through litigation?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. A whole bunch of times.
I remember one time I was going through litigation with somebody, and that guy would do one thing, and I would immediately say, go after him, because the emotion was too overwhelming, that the blinders were in place.
You're too focused.
But we were talking about millions of dollars.
Yeah, hold on.
You know what I mean? Not a few grand. Yeah. So it's not processing. Yeah, it seems like he might not have the money. That would be my guess. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Joseph A. Lazara, here's an attorney I hope you never use. You know, if you find yourself in a bind, maybe a domestic violence, maybe a DUI, maybe murder, pretty much if you've been accused of a crime, this is the guy. We have known Joe for 15, 20 years. This is the kind of phone number you want to put in your phone so you have it when you need it. He's the best. He can cut the best deals with the DA, and if you're innocent, he can get in front of a jury and fight for you. 303-429-6200. Please put it in your phone, 303-429-6200. RecoverYourHair.com. Nick Turner, he's the founder. And you can go to their website, recoveryourhair.com, but he wanted to get a hair transplant, and he priced it around Colorado and around different states. He was getting quotes of $29,000. He had a friend that actually went to Istanbul, Turkey, and got a hair transplant for, listen to this, $7,000. Same level of treatment. That included the airfare, the hotel stay. He called it a mini vacation. The guy's name is Dr. Nuri, and he's done a lot of hair transplants. And apparently his satisfaction rate is just as high as these guys that charge $29,000 or $30,000. The staff is professional. The aftercare is world class. Check them out at recoveryourhair.com. That's recoveryourhair.com. I don't know who you wanted me to do after that one. You see what I'm saying? That's it. I thought we were going to do 2 spot blocks. Got it. So I can go back to the phones. We're going back to the show. Or are we going directly to those commercials, Dragon? Got it. Got it. So I'll have 3 minutes, and then we're going to hit 45. Got it.
Is that your headphones?
Yeah, no, I don't know. My wife wife just said, that Rock guy's an idiot.
Oh, God.
It's amazing. I that's why I truly think anybody listening to him, he's tap dancing.
Yeah, I think he's hurting for money. That'd be my guess.
For 10 years, maybe, never an issue. Right. And then this thing is to the level of, like, insanity.
Is this the volume?
What's insane is Rock not giving his money back.
It's absolutely insane. I know this guy, Steve's a pain in the ass.
He sure is, man. Somebody's getting...
He's texted me at fucking midnight before.
Wow.
Once again, though, in his defense, just for that, although he did call me drunk as a skunk one time.
Were you?
At 2 p.m., the second I got out of here.
Wow. Oh, my gosh.
Somebody's getting shot.
It's 5 o'clock something.
I'm telling you, this is going to take a dangerous turn.
Yeah. I see you're a Margaritaville fan. Margaritaville fan.
Costco.
Oh, no kidding?
$4.
Oh, snap.
It could say anything.
Yeah.
The problem is that
it really doesn't matter, Nick.
Yeah.
Rock should have said that the work will be done up to whatever the standards, and if there's a question about it,
we'll get 100% guarantee satisfaction.
I don't think
crazy.
That's the language. Satisfaction.
Right.
I will work whatever work needs to be done to get you 100% satisfied.
Right.
I never give you freaking money back after I did the job.
We had an HVAC company that had that on their contract for a week.
Oh, yeah. Eat you alive.
You just up to industry
we held them
standards.
to it. We had a call, and they're still a big, huge advertiser with us.
Really?
And and we had a call. I said, well, how do you argue with that?
Right.
I mean, like, literally, that's insane. You know, back in the day when everybody was like normal, that's fine.
Right. Not today.
Sometime until
mid California now, you know.
Until the mid-90s.
Yeah, somewhere around late 80s, mid-90s, when people just started going nuts.
Yeah, litigation city.
Holy shit.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's one of the reasons I've stayed out of not working in California, starting up in California. Just the fear of litigation, you know, just too much, right?
Good call, man.
Yeah.
Good call to stay out of Cali.
I love it. I love the area, but
yeah,
just those fears. I mean, I have an attorney out there that is like, listen, if you can get past the litigation, the money's great. Yeah. So.
All right, 303-713-8255. I'm not kidding. It is the most toxic relationship. So I mind doing those right now. Oh, God. All right. Now I got to get my head together, Dragon. Thank you for that, and thank you, Stephen Rock. Anyhow, Vestera Turnkey. Here's an investment that's absolutely unbelievable. We have callers and listeners that have actually made 40-50% on their money with Barry Miller, and he's also teamed up with Wave 8, Tom's company. And basically, you find an investment property, they manage it, or they find a good management company, they collect the rent, then as it appreciates, you sell it. It's pretty straightforward, and it's a really good deal. Check him out, VesteraTurnkey.com. Then John Fuller, Fuller Law. Talk about a great attorney. Here's what I love about John. I'll put it like this. He got us every cent the policy had when we were hurt in an accident, and he did it twice. I wouldn't call a different attorney. So it's simple as that. If you've been hurt in an accident, you call John Fuller. I'm going to give you the phone number now, 303-597-4500. That's 303-597-4500. John Fuller, Fuller Law.
It just shows you how aligned I am with my wife. I was thinking the exact same thing about how, figure out what your costs are, cut bait, and move on. And she's like, the same thing. Why does he want this headache? She even said something. She goes, the guy's talking about being a soldier. He goes, I don't think this is a war.
Oh, it is.
Right.
See, it's kind of, you're thinking, like, why would he want this headache? Like, what's going on right now?
Yeah.
This has been like this for 6 weeks.
Yeah, I would let that one go. Too much emotion. That they're he's processing with emotion. Same with the homeowner. Mm-hmm. It's all based off emotion instead of rationale. Build it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Even then, just.
I wonder if I got a contract. I bet I do have a contract on him. I just hope it's not one of the ones Tom mixed.
Yeah.
If I got my referral list contract, I'll just invoke it.
Yeah. Does he realize that? I mean, you just said it, so he realizes it. Yeah. You said it on the radio, so he's going to lose his contract. He's going to lose his relationship.
It's not just that. They sign a code of ethics, and basically, if it comes down to it, we become the arbitrator.
Yeah.
He's hanging on this thing. It's the most toxic relationship ever.
He's probably struggling.
There's no doubt.
I mean, if you're holding on, either that or he's spent the money already on somebody else's job.
Yeah, which is struggling.
Yeah, which is struggling.
Only
putting food on the table.
bucks.
Right. Yeah, 60 exactly. I mean, you know how many times I've walked away from that just because it's like it ain't worth it. I had a customer up in the hills, and they've got an old cabin, and they wanted a bidet toilet that's built into the wall, and it couldn't be done because it's an exterior wall.
Oh,
and they just wanted to go back and forth. We just build a new wall, and we finally just said, you know what, here's your money. Thanks for the memories. And
so we couldn't help you. Good luck.
Oh yeah, it's way easy.
So we go right to the end, right? Dragon. Lord.
So you guys install new plumbing and everything?
Yeah, we're licensed plumbers.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, you can't do what we do without being plumbing. Yeah, it's critical. Yeah. We're more licensed plumbers than we are GC.
Jeez.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's some of the stuff we do. It's just like what Mark's talking about, steam showers. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a pressurized vessel. So you got to know what you're doing with those things. Yeah.
You better size them right too, man.
Undersized, you're screwed.
Oh, you're cooked.
Yeah, because it'll take 25 minutes to heat up.
If you're lucky.
Yeah, right. Yeah, mine heats up in about 4.
Wow, that's pretty impressive.
Mine, if you get to 115, it's every bit of 20 minutes, and I know it's sized right. In fact, it might be a little oversized, but barely.
Right.
But 115, a true 115 is hot, man.
Right. Yeah. I can fill mine up in about 4 or 5 minutes. You got to have the right size wiring. Mm-hmm. Yeah, now you'll melt the crap out of that wire if you.
It was like the one they ran's like this thick.
So you got a big size shower.
Holy crap!
Yeah.
Oh, the shower's huge.
Yeah.
Wait, the wires?
Yeah.
So like a 50 amp extension cable. It's ridiculous.
And join me today at 4. We'll dive into the latest craziness from D.C. and from the loony left right here in Colorado, and we'll have a lot of fun doing it. Join me at 4.
All right, 303-713-8255. Look, I'm just going to recap this, and everybody's got to understand my frustration. It's been over. This has been going on forever. It's just ever and a day. These two were so toxic together. To even think they'd make a deal is crazy. Bottom line is Steve gave this guy, Rock, $16,000. And I've known Rock forever. And I will say this, I've had a complaint on him before, but everything's always been worked out. And as far as complaints for restoration companies, very, very few. Most of them that we've had over the years on our referral list, we get more than I've ever gotten on Rock. But something has changed here. I mean, Rock, you start bringing up your service, and I appreciate you being in the Marines, but that has nothing to do with this. I don't know what's going on here. I feel like you're tap dancing. And Steve, before I bring you both back up, my God, you call all the time in the middle of the night. I know you don't get off your work until 11:45, and if Rock does offer, and I hope he am, to refund some of it minus whatever work he's actually done, I hope you take the deal. And Rock, I hope you actually make that offer when we come back. And mediation is in our referral list agreement, just to let both of you know. So that could always be an option here, and that's something we can invoke. Now, what drives me crazy, though, Steve, you keep talking over. And you shouldn't be doing that in this case right now. And the other thing is, you're not Mr. Innocent in this. You really aren't. I realize you think these tests cost a lot more, but I don't know if they do or not. Maybe they do. And all I'm talking about there for people that don't know is Rock is in the restoration business. When you rebuild something, you got to make sure it's right. So he needs a plumber to come in and do a smoke test and this other stuff. Steve's saying he can find it cheaper, so he's trying to nitpick this guy down on prices like that. But at this point, guys, it's so toxic. I am highly suggesting one more time that you guys part ways. Simple as that. And Steve, sometimes I think you might get your drink on, quite frankly. I talked to you one time where I couldn't even make heads or tails. Does that have anything to do with this? No. But along with all the texts back and forth, all the late night calls, once again, I know you get off work late, but 3:45 in the morning, most people are sleeping. You've texted me at midnight to my personal cell phone number I gave you. Now, you haven't done that for a while, but that's it. So I'm going to go back to Rock. Rock, I'm going to plead with you one more time. Will you please refund this guy minus whatever you've done?
For you and the show, I value the relationship so much, I'll do that. Yes.
Thank you, Rock. I appreciate that 100%, and I know everybody listening does too. Now, hold on. Steve, we're good now.
Yeah.
Did you hear him?
Yeah, I heard him.
Okay.
He never started the job, Mark.
Steve.
He never started the job.
Steve.
Okay.
I am sure he will come back with a fair number. If he spends some time filling out permits, talking to people, there is going to be a little cost there, whether you like it or not. I will look at it when you guys talk. If it's egregious, I will chime in. But for the life of me, you better shut your mouth out right now and say, thank you, Rock, for refunding me and telling everybody on the air you were going to do it.
Appreciate it, Rock.
Thank you. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. Thank you, Rock, for coming through with that. And I swear this better not be an issue next week. I do not want that call. Guys, okay, thoughts on it? Seriously, now that we're done.
I think
Apparently
we
we're
averted
done.
World War IV, but I predict we're going to hear about this within a month.
I don't think so. I don't think so. Who was the president that used to do duels all the time, right in the White House? Like Andrew? who was it?
Oh, the one who killed the vice president, or the vice president killed him?
So this is going to come down to like an old-fashioned duel. Take 10 paces, and whoever's still there, they're still there. The other guy's gone.
Aaron Burr and Alexander Hamilton.
This is the most toxic relationship I remember in a long time on this show, these two. Rock, you're going to come and thank me. Rock's going to be so happy that this guy's out of his life. And Steve, you're going to be so happy as well. You know the fun part about mediation, and that's what just happened? You know the fun part about it? If you do a good job, there ain't one person happy. We got another hour coming up.
Man, I am happy.
Glad to hear this.
Well, it isn't done yet.
We're going to hear about that.
Yeah, what you're going to hear about next is he's taking too much money.
Yeah, that's why I said we're going to hear about this within 4 weeks.
Yeah. Well, it shouldn't take but 5 minutes. This is how much I spent. Here's the balance. You good? That's all it should take, right? Because if they've been dinking around with this that long, guaranteed he knows what his costs are. Where, but does he play with it for 6 weeks? Who knows? It's all pretty.
So our YouTube, I'm looking at our YouTube poll. I put, should Rock refund the money?
Yeah.
96%. And it's not saying Rock's wrong.
No. Right.
I mean, the guy did sign the contract.
Yeah.
It's just like, my God, people.
Yeah.
He keeps going, I want to make this right. I want to sit down with him. Can you imagine these two in the same room? We'd see it on 9 News tonight.
Yeah.
I mean, literally.
Oh, yeah.
I have a question for you, Mark.
Yes, sir.
The renovation that Rock was going to do.
He was doing the rebuild.
Right. Whatever it was, has it gone unfilled for the last 2 years?
No. So what happened is, to the best of my understanding, the facts both of them can mostly agree to. Rock came out and gave him a bid after a fire. year and a half ago.
Right.
His price was too high. So he went with a different contractor.
Okay.
He had problems with that contractor. The house is now to the point where most of it has been gutted and just started getting rebuilt. He called Rock up and said, why don't you come out and give me a bid from this stage? That was in January.
Right.
So,
of this year.
Yeah.
Of this year.
Oh, so okay, so it wasn't like
No, it was in this year.
months.
Rock was supposed to get started in March. He was delayed by about 30 days or whatever it was, and that's when this guy started going crazy. But really, he could have lived with that.
Right.
Rock wanted to do 2 tests. I forget what they are. One is a smoke test on the plumbing system. I have no idea what that means. No idea whatsoever. But when you do restoration, because there could have been asbestos, there could have been a million things. He wanted to do these tests, and this guy went out and found the tests cheaper, like a lot cheaper. He said Plumline would do them for $1,000. Rock wanted like $5,000. I highly doubt they were the same tests, but who knows? So that's where the true breakdown came, and that's where he called into the show.
That was the loss.
Well, I'm saying the guy's been living in a fire-torn house for...
No, he's not living there. There's no CO.
Oh, okay.
Well, he might be. He's crazy if he is.
But I'm saying, but the home is still post-fire, right?
You wanna know something I've learned, and this is over painful situations. The most difficult jobs I've ever had are jobs that I took over for other contractors.
Oh, I bet, yeah.
And
most people, there's a lot of people that won't go there.
I won't go there anymore. Yeah, if someone's already been there, they've already shown their spots.
Mm-hmm.
Rather, you know what I mean? Whether it was them or it was the contractor, spots have been shown it. And man, every time I've done it slapped me in the face.
I do the same with patients. If the patient is transferred from another doctor,
Right.
I ask them, what didn't you like about it?
Right.
And they'll say, well, he was 5 minutes late for his appointment. You know it's going to be trouble.
Yeah. Guess what? I'm going to be 10. I'm teasing, of course. But what kind of doctor are you?
I was an OBGYN.
Oh, no kidding.
For 45 years.
Good for you, man. Good for you. Did you enjoy your craft?
What?
Did you enjoy your craft, what you did?
Except for the time, I loved it.
Yeah.
It was so unpredictable that my life was so hectic, I could be having office hours, delivery in the middle of office hours.
Right.
Then catch up, go home, get up at 3 o'clock in the morning to do another delivery, have surgery at 7:30, and it was impossible to schedule my time.
Right. Your own life.
Yeah.
Somewhat of a lar. Yeah, I get it. That's an interesting thought. Yeah. Well, yeah. I guess everyone's similar. The only difference is you get called at any time of the day, right?
Day or night, didn't matter.
Gotta go.
I was in practice by myself, so I basically was on call 24/7, 365.
Okay. Let me see.
But I want to be my own boss and not have to answer to anybody.
Right. Oh yeah, I'm a terrible employee. I've always said that. I'm much better off being, running my own.
I mean, I had my staff. We had no turnover for 15 years.
Yeah, because you were the only. Hey, Scott. Hold on.
Buy these smoke bombs.
Yeah.
You drop down the bed stacks and you hook up this back system to it.
Yeah.
And you plug off a bunch of stuff in the house and you just check for leaks.
So it's a smoke test in the vent system. That is.
And drain, it tests everything.
Okay, and drain lines.
What do they generally run?
What is that? What does something like that usually cost?
Like retail.
Retail, yeah. To a consumer.
They're not too much.
Like, what are you talking?
I've never had to buy one.
He doesn't know.
$500?
No. You can't get a plumber anywhere for $500.
Oh, my allergies. We used to deal with leaf blowers and stuff.
With leaf blowers?
I don't know.
Okay. Yeah. I get it now. So it's a vent and a drain test for leaks. Gotcha. No, I'll explain it to you in a bit. All right, thanks, man. Yeah, so that's what it is. It's just they're checking the ABS PVC pipes for leaks. So, but that's not that can't be too costly. $1,000.
Well, Plumline. Well, once again, this is according to Steve.
Right.
Plumline was $1,500, and Rock was like $4,000 or $5,000, something like that. But Rock was making it sound like it was a completely different test.
Okay.
So,
I mean, yeah.
I'm trying to think.
Is Plumline known as being a cheap company?
No.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
No, but here's the other thing. They don't give any prices over the phone.
Right.
And apparently that price came from over the phone was my first.
So maybe not even true.
Maybe not.
Yeah.
Ripped off, bad news. You need advice so you don't have to lose. We'll come running just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help the common man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Welcome, my friends, to the only show of its kind. We're here to solve problems, answer questions, take complaints. I had to take my heart medication. No, I'm just kidding. Blood pressure meds. No, I'm still just kidding. You know, that was a very intense conversation. And I was thinking if those two ever got into a room together, my God, who knows what kind of fireworks would happen. I did want to ask people their thoughts, but let me at least start the show and say this. You've been ripped off. You've been taken advantage of. You got a bad contractor out there. You need help. That is what this show's about. We do have open lines, 303-713-8255. I'd also love some comments. I put up a poll on YouTube, and basically I asked, how do you think Mark handled this call? And I'm trying to think. I don't see the number here, but it's probably about 100 people. 84% very good, 5% okay, and 11% not good. I'd like to know what that 11%. How do you guys? What do you think that 11%? Pretend you're part of the 11%ers. What do you think? Maybe I was just too loud and too yelling.
I think those are the people who are disappointed we did not do a live video cast of the meeting between Rock and Steve.
A pay-per-view event.
Pay-per-view event would have been awesome.
Yeah. It's so weird. It's been going on so long. They just didn't stop. I felt like if I didn't finally... Kelly, how many times have I walked in studio and the first thing you tell me in the past 6 weeks is... Guess who called again?
At least 5.
Oh.
It's nonstop. And then the text between them all. And, I don't want to dig that far back into it. Nick, I mean, from a business aspect and a contractor, what do you think there?
It's sad that when relationships go sour, but at some point you have to recognize to let it go is the healthiest thing that you can do for both sides.
Yeah, you simply, he does have money involved in it.
Right.
I don't think it's much, but whatever it is.
Right.
And that part, if that part becomes an issue, I'm just gonna have Tom take care of it.
Yeah. Hopefully they can come up with a rational number that makes sense for both sides.
What's the biggest troubled customer? Oh, by the way, 303 Martino. Let's just go with that. Remember that number works on and off the air. I'd love some comments on that call. And then on top of that, any problem you have, 303-713-8255 or 303 Martino or help at troubleshooter.com. What's the biggest problem customer, Nick, you remember having? You were in the HVAC business years ago, too.
You know, it always comes down to communication.
No, there's crazy customers.
Oh, no.
Dude, I ran 5 Goodyear stores, and you know what? Most of the time the customer's right, but there's some crazy-ass people out there.
Yeah, but I think 9 times out of 10, they just want to be heard.
Yeah, I think you're right.
And if you take the time to just at least process that with a lack of emotion, because it's easy to get caught up in that type of situation where,
you're too headstrong.
Yeah, and if I've learned anything, it's just try to respond with as little emotion as possible. because then at least some level of rationale can hopefully dictate the relationship.
Well, let's go to the other side of that coin. What do you remember? And you still didn't answer the question.
I know.
Yeah, you're trying.
But he's tap dancing too.
Yeah, you're tap dancing a little there. Come on, no, give us at least one.
I've had customers in the past that
you were talking about one that wanted something installed on an exterior wall. What was it?
Oh yeah, I was talking about a consumer just recently where we were in their home and they wanted to have a wall mount toilet installed in their bathroom that would be inside an exterior wall, and couldn't process the fact that would never fly. And it was up in Bailey.
Because of code?
Yeah, because of code, freezing, all the
I didn't even think of that part in Bailey.
Yeah,
so they wanted that no matter what.
Right.
And they're trying to convince you to do it.
Right. And everything was just kind of an adversarial type of communication. Ultimately, the path of least resistance prevailed, and we parted ways.
Yeah.
And so, and honestly, I'm.
Well, that's a good example.
Yeah. We don't want to. Nobody wants to lose money. No one wants to admit failure. And I'm sure that's where Rock's head is to a degree. He doesn't want to.
They both got headstrong on each other. They simply didn't want to lose.
Once you're there, it's never going to get better.
Yeah, but you do at some point. Both sides.
Yeah.
I'll tell you something else, Mark. We could not renew our malpractice insurance unless we documented that we went to lectures on communicating with patients, how to communicate so that it reduced the number of lawsuits by directly talking to the patient.
So the insurance company mandated that.
Exactly.
I think that's pretty good. If I was an insurance company, I'd want a doctor to kind of understand how to communicate. Maybe not to be a friendly doctor or a good bedside manner, but not to say something that could end up in a lawsuit and be used against you in a court of law.
And also how to deal with medical errors if there were medical errors.
Yeah.
That hiding it always causes lawsuits.
What's the worst, Dimitri, what's the worst business you've dealt with? Not necessarily the name of it, but think of something, maybe it was a restaurant and it was a horrible waitress, but some experience you've had that will always stick out.
As a consumer or as a business owner?
No, as a consumer now. A mistake that someone you dealt with.
Wow, man, that is surprisingly difficult for me to answer. I really, as a consumer, I can't remember.
You're pretty savvy. You generally wouldn't engage with someone that might rip you off.
Yeah, well, I'm very careful about the people I deal with. Like, I really gauge the personality of the person, no matter what the potential business relationship is. And if I get even a whiff of douchiness or just some kind of weirdness, I politely disengage. So, Mark, honest to God, I've never been ripped off by a car dealer or a plumber or anybody else.
I was ripped off by people.
Oh, I'm sure, no doubt. Or maybe I got ripped off by somebody who's so good at ripping me off that I don't even know that I got ripped off.
Like a good pickpocket.
Yeah.
Hey, Dragon, what'd you think of that engagement on that call?
I think you did everything that you could. I think both of Steve definitely a-hole, where Rock is defending his business as best that he can. I don't think that he should have thrown out that offer that I'm going to do this job to 100% satisfaction, but that he did, so we have to deal with those consequences.
And it was crazy he did that, and he did it in a group text to me and the guy.
I'll tell you how I got ripped off, Mark.
Hold on one second. I still want to make this very clear. I want to say definitely way pre-COVID, but out of 10 years, I've had maybe one complaint on Rock, and whatever it was got taken care of. And so this was very out of character, but Steve, dealing with him is so hard. It's crazy, and that's where I kept going. For the life of me, I don't understand why Rock just doesn't cut this. Done.
And for Steve, I don't know if it was just an overabundance of information plus bad contractors prior to Rock. But Rock has his own way of doing things. If he wants to do this test, that is Rock's business to do this test.
Yeah, because he's going to be held at the end of it responsible if something does go wrong.
Yeah, just because business A says you don't need to do this test, and business B says this test is $5, and Rock says this test is $20, doesn't matter. You're doing business with Rock. That's Rock's price.
Let me tell you guys something, too. I should have brought this up. I just thought about it. The reason Rock came back, American Restoration was there, gave him a bid. They didn't like the bid. Another company got in there. Steve is actually suing and had problems with the second company. So, in fact, if Rock said he's actually suing 2 other contractors. But once again, I said to Rock, if that's true, what the hell are you doing in this toxic relationship? It's nuts. You know, when you have something like our referral list and you have members on there, I mean, things just basically have to end at some point. I'll be very honest with people. You know, we run background checks on everybody and they sign a code of ethics. And the bottom line is, at some point, when it comes to something like this, we can get involved. I mean, you guys or whoever's on the referral list agrees to it. I can't remember the last time I had to kind of remind him in so many words that that's part of it. I mean, it really is. When it gets to the point where this guy's literally calling everybody you know, including the radio station, constantly, something's got to be done. All right, 303-713-8255. We'll be right back.
House built.
Yeah.
And the contractor originally wanted to settle for $25,000. We sued them, got more than, I can't say the exact amount, but it was more than $350,000.
Yeah.
To fix what they screwed up. That's a big loss.
That'll put most people out of business. You know. Yeah, no question. And you know what's interesting is I do think that at the end there he did finally just said, okay.
All right, let me tell you about Gravina's. I think I do that as good as Larry, but here's the bottom line. These guys have been in Colorado a very long time. Nick's at the helm right now. His dad, Larry, was basically the voice I was trying to do there. But here's what I love about them. A lot of window companies out there, and these guys do siding entry doors. In fact, Susanna and I just bought a beautiful sliding door from them for our kitchen going out to our deck. But they have over 20 manufacturers they deal with when it comes to windows that have like 200 lines of windows. So if you've got a fix and flip or something that's very budget oriented, they're going to have the product for you. If you have a $10 million house in Vail, they're going to have the best window for you. Same with the entry doors. They try to cover the entire gamut. Check them out at gravinas.com. If you're getting a bid on any of that stuff, you're crazy not to get one from them. Nick and the gang are great people, great warranties, great lineage. Gravinas.com. Fix it 24/7. I've been talking about them all day. The bottom line is you want to get that sump pump checked. If you have not checked that sump pump in the past year, 2 years, 5 years, some people haven't checked their sump pump in 10 years. Not only are they going to make sure it works, but they're going to come out and they're going to actually clean it. They're going to make sure it's in good operating order. They're going to put a no breakdown guarantee on it. And they're going to tell you about their company. That's the main reason they do it. They do electric. They do everything HVAC. They do plumbing, drain cleaning, and this is a wonderful way to meet a customer. In fact, if you're an existing customer, you can call them for this special as well. $49. They'll clean the sump pump. Go to fixmyhome.com. That's fixmyhome.com. Oh, cool, Mike Gutters. I got that $99 deal from Excel. Who's doing the HOA one?
I'll be happy to.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought we were waiting to hear from the attorney.
Yeah, he's come. The attorney's coming on tomorrow, but I'm sending you this. Oh my God, I used to live there. That is so funny.
Where is it?
Our first house we bought. It's Clark Farms in Parker.
You talk about that all the time.
That was our very first.
Talk about Clark Farms.
$110,000, brand new. Back then they were called U.S. Homes.
Yeah.
And they sold to Lennar.
Clark Farms, there was a bunch of Avalanche players in that general area.
No, I doubt it.
No?
You're thinking of a different Clark Farms.
Like Lincoln?
Yeah, but yeah, okay. There's a lot of different areas in it.
Yeah, I had a buddy that lived there.
Well, you say Avs players. I'm thinking, I mean, they've got to be making, I don't know what a hockey player makes. I don't think they were in this neighborhood then.
So
just like a typical Highlands Ranch or a little lower.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Maybe you're right. But I do think that it's in that general vicinity. You still live out there, huh?
No, I haven't lived there forever. I've lived in Douglas County forever. We lived in Parker, then Castle Rock, now Franktown.
Franktown's beautiful.
Well, it's cool. We've just been in Douglas forever.
Yeah.
I like Douglas County. School districts, I mean, my kids are good and successful. I can't complain about Douglas County.
That's good. Wonderful.
At least not at the moment.
Yeah. Give them time. Yeah, we've been in the same place for as long as I can remember. Since 2000.
Same area.
Yeah, we moved to this new house a year and a half ago. But yeah.
Here's I'm sending you some more stuff on it. For whatever reason, I'm getting all this right now.
Okay. The greenhouse?
The greenhouse. Here's a letter where they actually, or the email, where they agree to pay.
Pay for everything? Or 2,000?
2,000.
Okay.
Yeah, I do think, there's probably onus on both sides of there.
And it says a final resolution of this matter. Clark Farms. It's so funny. I forget how long we lived there. I think we might have lived there almost 10 years.
Yeah.
Where do you live? What area?
Right up against Chatfield Lake.
Oh, nice.
Trail Mark?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Horse property?
No, that's across the street.
Okay.
Yeah.
I had a buddy had some horse property out there.
Beautiful area there.
It's kind of, I don't know about now.
You're thinking Deer Creek.
Denver's talk station, 630 KHOW.
All right, 303-713-8255, 303 Martino. Nick Fox, Renew Home Innovations. Bathrooms. I've been saying it. I love the fact that's your main gig. You don't go in there and try to do everything in the house. You're not doing basements, kitchens. You do bathrooms.
That's correct.
And I love that solid wall. The more I think about it, no grout. What kind of warranty does something like that have? When you guys go in and do a full bathroom, what kind of warranty?
So the walls, the wall products, most of the wall products today are going to carry a minimum of 10 years and up to a lifetime guarantee for the material product.
And what could ever happen to porcelain? Anything?
Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing.
It's solid.
I mean, they use it in hospitals.
Do they?
Oh, yeah, because of its ability to fight off any of the sickness.
There's really no pores in it?
Antimicrobial. No, it's 100% non-porous.
That's why then, right?
Yeah,
I mean, in the hospitals, because nothing can get...
Exactly.
It's not holding disease.
Yeah, it's hypoallergenic type of product. So,
what's your favorite kind of project when it comes to bathrooms? Meaning, do you like doing the full blown with the steam shower and the whole bit?
I enjoy it because I get gigged up by it. I like creating these incredible spaces.
Do you do a lot of the design stuff yourself?
Only when I get a chance.
Okay.
We have a handful of designers that are trained to go out and create those types of visions for consumers on the normal basis. Yeah.
Well, that's pretty cool. I don't mind. Well, do you mind if I ask you this? You can say yes or no. But honestly, like when you go out and actually connect and meet a customer,
right?
Like, what is your close rate compared to, say, a salesperson you have?
So, I would tell you this: most of our customers, if with our average designer that goes, it's probably about 50%.
Okay. Are people sticker shocked or no? Because you said you basically walk in everything. I'll give you an idea of why I'm asking that. I'll let people.
That's a great question.
I'll have people call up, and it's a big thing in home services.
Right.
They hadn't bought a furnace for 20 years because furnaces generally last 20 years. And the last furnace they bought might have been $1,500 installed.
Yeah.
And now a furnace in an AC can be $15,000 without blinking. So whatever company it is, and that's a lot of HVAC companies.
Right.
All the big ones are going to be, I mean, that's just the cost of selling a furnace now.
Right.
It's just the way life is. But you got to get by that sticker shock. And I would assume with remodeling, even pre-COVID, it was definitely cheaper. But how do you guys deal? If there is sticker shock, how do you deal with that?
We always recommend consumers do a little bit of self-analysis. There's a publication out that's designed for consumers. It's called Cost versus Value Report. And it comes out every year, and it kind of gives a good assimilation of what projects are costing, whether it's an HVAC or a bathroom or a kitchen or
That's
a
good idea.
Yeah. Just Google cost versus value.
No matter what it has to do with your house, like paint.
Correct. And not only does it tell you what the average product is costing, it also is giving you an evaluation of how much added value that project's going to add to the value of your home.
How do people get a hold of that?
Online. It's just Google it. You can just Google cost versus value 2024. And it's designed for homeowners.
So you can say, okay, if I dump $20,000 into a bathroom or $5,000 into a bathroom, whatever it is,
right?
What value does that add to my house?
Approximately 73% is what a bathroom conversion right now is giving. So if you spend,
but that's what that'll do. That site.
It tells you that. Yeah, it'll tell you. It lists all of those different products and services.
That's cool.
Yeah. But yeah, projects today can be anywhere. I mean, we see a shower can be as low as 10 to 14,000 and as high as 30 to 40,000.
Oh yeah, you put a steam shower in. You put in, the fixtures are insanely expensive these days.
Good quality products they are.
Yeah, good quality. But even in a wholesale price, it's still astonishing how much a good rain shower is. I mean, it truly is astonishing.
100%. Yeah, there is definitely a distinction between what you buy at a Home Depot, product versus a contractor grade materials. There's an incredible distinction in the quality and the makeup and the way that they're designed, the way that they're going to last, the finish, everything. It pays to buy a contractor graded material.
You just made me think of something. I heard the Trump administration got rid of these low flow regulations. Has it already flowed down to like Home Depot? Can someone go get a normal shower head now?
It's a good question.
I don't know.
That is a good question. I can tell you right now that everything we buy has to go through EPA standards.
Yeah.
So the manufacturers
I think they changed a lot of that. I think literally he did an executive order or whatever it looks like. Right. And now you can buy, I guess, high flow.
Right.
I mean, Dimitri, does that sound right?
Yeah, I think he made showers great again. Like what I'd say about 4 weeks ago or so.
Yeah.
And I doubt that those changes have made their way through the supply line because it takes forever to get stuff from China, and now they have to respec it.
That's what I was going to say.
They got to restock it.
They got to retool the whole thing.
Oh yeah, and then they have to sell out all the crummy shower heads where you have to stand there for 15 minutes before you get your hair wet.
I still have soap in my hair.
Yeah.
Hey, so on those same lines, Nick, since you're doing these bathrooms, is there a way if you have a low flow shower head, there must be a way to, now that it's legal,
manipulate,
to modify it into a regular shower head?
You know what's crazy? I had a customer, they taught me this. But they actually went on to Amazon, and Amazon will sell everything, right? So
yeah, they don't care.
Yeah, they don't care at all. So
Amazon will sell you crack if they could.
Yeah,
I mean it's crazy.
It's all in the packaging. But yeah, no, you can find stuff that kind of gets you what you want, on places like that.
You just go look for it.
Yeah.
And what is it? What I don't even know what does it. Is it like just
It's
a little
an orifice?
That's all it is.
Yeah.
So you would think you could even, if you wanted to, tap it out, drill it out, remove it.
Yeah, I've done that before with bathroom fixtures.
Right.
They have
Call
this
the
little
cops.
They have the little restrictor
Yeah.
with a tiny hole, and I just would shove a nail or something there, make the hole better, and boom, I get proper water.
So you got an American Standard shirt on, American Standard shower systems. So are you guys like a main reseller of them? Because that's a big brand to represent.
So good question. The wall products that we carry, they're not American Standard.
American Standard just does fixtures, right?
Well, no, there was a moment in time when they were doing shower systems, and we were the dealer for Colorado. They killed the program.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And yeah, it was actually a wonderful thing for us because it allowed us to go ahead and really focus in on porcelain. And it's a product that very few people can sell because of you have to have certain equipment to be able to install it. That's the first thing. But
it's really heavy.
Oh, it's just stunning. But the thing about the American Standard, we still carry and install their plumbing fixtures. We are a certified partner with American Standard. We will install other products, Kohler products, things of that nature. But those are really the only two that
Kohler in America.
Yeah, we trust them.
Yeah,
we trust that they're, and
do you notice any difference? I mean, I'm sure they both have different levels of product. Do you have personally a favorite? Or it just really depends on the look of it?
Well, I will tell you that in my own home, I replaced every fixture, and every fixture was Kohler.
Okay.
And I did that because of a specific finish that we liked a lot.
I think that's a big part of it.
Yeah. So
the design.
Yeah, the design was the feature, and so. But I think you can find a lot of good products in all lines. I don't think anybody's actually intentionally making low quality products. I think sometimes it just happens by default.
What do you see as real popular now? Like at one point, vessel sinks.
Yeah.
These above ground, it would just sit on the granite. I've seen some of them. I thought they're beautiful.
Yeah.
I didn't do one, but I've seen them.
Yeah. My wife and we actually put them in most of our bathrooms. We put them in vessels. They're really nice. She was the one who picked out them, and they really do look nice. You can find nice vessels. Undermount bowls are where it's at, though. I mean,
that's what we have.
Yeah, just it's tried and true.
How about pedestal sinks?
Haven't done one in a long time.
Really?
Yeah.
I guess for a half bath, that's probably where they'd be at.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. In a master or even like I call it the kids' bathroom or whatever.
Jack and Jill.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just not common. I mean, but you know what? We're finding more and more people are looking. They want storage in their bathrooms. They want storage in their showers. They want that spa-like setting, whether it's the shower, whether it's the shower head, the mist sprays. There's all kinds of
fancy
different
toilet.
things. Yeah, fancy toilet. I mean, there's so many things that you can do in a bathroom.
People they think of a bidet.
Yeah.
But these toilets now do just more than the cleansing.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I'll tell you the best part about it, honestly.
Fans?
It what?
There's the fan?
Yeah, well, that's true. There is a fan. I forgot about that. That's a good one. But the other one is the heated toilet
The heated seat. Yeah.
The heated seat is ridiculous.
I'll hold out until they make the massaging seat.
The massaging toilet.
Give it time.
I would assume I bet Toto makes one. That's a hell of a brand, isn't it?
They have a great product.
You know what's weird, though? I've seen Totos that look like regular commodes.
Right.
I mean, just like anything American or Kohler anybody would make. But they seem to be 2 or 3 times the price.
Yeah. They're not that much more. I mean, realistically, whenever you're stepping into those, I mean, there are some of the Kohler bidet toilets can be, upwards of $12,000-$13,000.
Oh, that's insane. Yeah, 13,000.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
The newbie.
Then you buy a squatty potty for $49 a piece of plastic and cap it off. All right, 303-713-8255. Hold tight. We'll be right back.
And a hose. That's all you need.
Come up with what special do you want?
Phone book.
I'll just put you on the spot and ask you.
Okay, give me.
Hope you don't mind me just asking you questions.
No, I love it. It's great.
I try to make you.
No, I appreciate it, Mark. I really do. Hopefully, we're doing okay.
Yeah, you're doing great. Except for how you yelled at that.
Yeah,
I can't go number 2 anymore.
Nick, do you want some water or soda?
No, I'm okay. Let me ask my wife a question real quick. I want to see about because we're thinking about doing a promotion where we do
go, man.
bathroom model, get a free shower.
Nice.
Is that you know what I mean? So we saw one of our competitors are doing it. And we just haven't run.
So basically, buy a sink, get a free shower.
Yes, exactly. Full bathroom model. I'm gonna use the restroom too.
Don't go through the red room.
I know, round the back.
Sheridan Auto Tech, Uncle Kevin, man, he's been on our referral list forever. I love this guy. I have him do work on our vehicles. Here's what's cool about Kevin. They know how to fix stuff. Maybe you just need an alternator or a battery or an oil change, the basic stuff that a lot of shops do. Or if you have some kind of problem and you need someone to diagnose it and do it properly, get it done right the first time. Kevin bought Lakewood Electric years and years ago, and they were one of the best. And now he has those employees and their equipment. They can fix any kind of electrical problem. They work on virtually every car out there. 3-year, 36,000 nationwide warranty with Napa on everything they do. You're just going to love them. They're great, honest people. These are the guys you go to. SheridanAutotech.com. That's SheridanAutotech.com. Joseph A. Lazara. He's an attorney, and he's a criminal defense attorney, and he's really, really good at what he does. If you're facing charges right now, maybe for a DUI, you need to call Joe. First of all, he's got flat rate pricing. For one price, he'll start it and finish it. Here's the deal. If you're accused of a crime, you're either guilty or innocent. Maybe only you know. But if you're guilty, he can go to the DA, the judges, everybody. They all know him. They all respect him and get the best deal out there. They love him. The best deal out there. And if you're innocent, he can get in front of a jury of your peers, and talk to them about it and get you off. 303-429-6200. That number I always say, put in your phone. I mean it, because if you get in trouble and you're sitting in the jailhouse, you don't want to start Googling. You don't want to start going to the yellow pages. If that's the thing anymore, you want to know who to call. Joe Lazara, 303-429-6200. Whoa, that's loud. That was super loud. Yeah, you were feeling a little bad for Rock, weren't you?
Yeah, he just made a poor decision to try and throw out that offer. And
I called him the second he texted that to me and that dude. And I said in the three-way conversation, I said, well, you can't argue with that, Steve. No one could argue with that. And then I called up Rock right after there, and I was like, dude, are you crazy?
I mean, the fault's not always with Rock, too, because, I mean, Steve, if he doesn't want to do business with Rock, don't do business with Rock.
Yeah,
if you don't like his prices, and you didn't the first time around, don't come crawling back to him and then fight him? Jeez.
Well, it's just crazy how relentless he was, too, and
Both
leaving all the messages.
Oh, no, Steve was, I got right. When Steve called me after the show one time, so apparently he gets off, I'm like, Steve, you ever text me at 12 o'clock, I think one of my kids is in a fucking accident.
Yeah.
What are you doing, dude? And he was drunk. And this was at 2 o'clock right after the show, 2:15, I'm in my car. And it's obvious the guy's shit-faced.
Okay.
And that's where I had a real conversation with him. I'm like, dude, what is your problem? You're texting me here. You're calling me drunk now. You've got issues, man. You've got demons. You've got something cooked up here.
Yeah.
I'm glad you went to the restroom and we're good.
No, just I mean about.
Thanks, man.
Much better now.
TMI.
Yeah, that's good.
You got a good special?
I'm going to do a buy one full bathroom remodel and get a free shower for another bathroom.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. You upgrade 2 rooms for 1.
Yeah.
That's really nice. So the granite company I do stuff for, he'll do the kitchen and then do the bath for free. And people love that because they redo the kitchen.
Does it work good for him?
It does work good for him.
Okay.
Yeah, it
Well,
does
this is
work.
the first
good.
time we're going to do it, so we're going to try and see how it goes.
Yeah, it does work good for him. Sometimes he'll also do like, see, it gets weird with granite. I'm sure you know this, but there's so many like different edging.
Yeah.
And some edges cost more than others.
Right.
So he's tried stuff like free bullnose edging. Well, no one knows what the hell that is. So, I mean, stuff like that doesn't. But yeah, the free bathroom works pretty good for Art of Granite.
Yeah. Free shower, yeah. So we'll do a free shower with the purchase of a full bathroom model.
Nice.
Yeah. It's something we would sell for over 10 grand.
That's huge.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Tomorrow is car day.
And pizza day.
Yeah, for everybody but me. I'm on the shot.
Are you?
Yeah, it's like I'm not even hungry anymore, man. It's freaking weird.
What are you taking?
I'm on the trizepatide. I think I'm saying that right.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, trizepatide.
Interesting.
I'm on, so this sounds dumb, but I'm on 20 units.
Okay.
And, you know, what the hell's that mean? Well, because it's a compounding pharmacy, it can mean anything.
Right.
So, but that's the units I'm on.
Okay.
Doesn't hurt giving the shot, but it's really weird, man. It's like,
You give yourself a shot.
oh yeah, it's not like, it's not intravenous. You don't even feel it.
Really?
You just don't even feel it. It's actually pretty amazing. But I'm going to be off of it 1 month. I wanted 40 pounds, and it looks like I'm right there. Yeah.
Good for you.
I'm at 35, and I've got basically
Loaded and local.
You have our word will treat you right at Done Right Home Improvements. DRHI.com.
All right, 303-713-8255, 303 Martino. I was talking to Nick Fox. He's got a great special he's going to be giving too, but we were talking during the break. I told him I'm on the shot, trizepatide. If you listen to the show, I go through Denver Regen. And to give you an idea, Nick, it's like $300 a month. They got a deal right now. It's $150 off the first month, but it's really incredible. I hit like a wall at 30 pounds. The first 30 pounds came off quick, and then I was like, what's going on? Then all of a sudden in the past 2 weeks, I started losing weight again. So now I'm like 35, 36 pounds. I got 4 or 5 more to go, and that's where I am, and then I'll get off the shot. But it's remarkable when you hit that wall because I'm still barely eating any calories. So I'm going, what's happening? It's almost like the original 5 or 10 pounds, I assume, is like water weight. I mean, like, really, it's the easy weight to drop. Right. And then after that, I don't know if some fat, Doc, is this possible that some fat burns quicker than other fats? Is there a more dense fat? Does that make sense?
I'm not sure, Mark. I don't know the answer.
See, something changes, but then I got through that wall. Well, the other thing that possibly changed is I went to Nashville with 14 people. And we partied hard. The beer does not help the calorie line whatsoever.
Yeah.
And I like those IPAs, which are like, 200 calories. So honestly, that might have been part of that brick I hit. But now it's all coming off again.
Good for you.
Oh, I'll tell you something. And this is for everybody out there. You meet somebody you haven't seen for 6-7 months. Maybe you're at a restaurant, you look up, hey, Tony, what's going on? Oh, man, you lost weight. And Tony's dropped like 40 pounds. You haven't seen him for a year. What have you been doing? He goes, diet and exercise. You're like, you lying sack. There is no way you dropped 50 pounds in 6-7 months. I don't care who you are. I've known your fat ass 15 years, and all of a sudden you dropped it? No. We've all been there. Have you been there yet? You see someone that's dropped a lot of weight and you know they're lying or they're not telling?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I mean, most people are pretty transparent at this point with...
it's not a stigma anymore.
Yeah, everybody you know, I mean...
People are like, hey, my accountant the other day said, before I said, I got to reschedule. I was going to go in the other day, so I just stopped in the office. And I said, Betty, I'm going to reschedule. Suzanne's got to go out of town real quick. She's got something, so maybe we'll come in Saturday when she gets back. She goes, you've lost a lot of weight. And I'm behind her monitor, so she can't even really see me. And then she goes, in your face, meaning I lost a lot of weight in my face. And I say it proudly. I'm like, yeah, I'm on the stick, man. I'm sticking myself each week. So I don't care.
Rite of passage.
Yeah. Tony, what's going on with you, man?
Hi there.
Hey, Tony.
I think on the Ford transmission issue, we ran into an issue like that.
Oh, so this is a Ford. Hold on, I got to recap. A lot of people have no idea what you're talking about. So we had a caller the first hour, calls in. He bought a 2018 Ford F-150. It had a 10-speed transmission. He bought it from Len Lyle's Chevy, I believe. And at the very beginning, like as soon as he drove it off or the next day, the transmission's acting like crazy. It's not shifting. It's shifting hard. It's just doing everything wrong. He brings it back. It's been 4 months. They put a rebuilt transmission in it. They've tried to fix it 5 times, and it still has the same problem. Go ahead, Tony.
Well, we ran into this by accident, and what it is on these high-mileage vehicles, if there's any type of fluids leaking, and it gets onto the wiring harness and the plug that goes into the transmission, it will screw up the communication between the transmission and the computer. All we had to do was clean the harness and the plug, and lo and behold, everything worked right.
Tony,
Is this guy's problem or not, I don't know.
That sounds so feasible. It's crazy because the way they described how intermittent it was insane. That would be very cool. Is it easy to see if it's up on a lift? If there actually is something leaking around there, or is it like buried in the engine compartment, or what?
Well, it was on the side, the one that we saw, and it had an oil leak out of the valve cover gasket, and it was kind of settling right there, and with all the dirt and moisture and everything driving around, it screws it up. And, you know, you got to really clean them up well, because
I get it.
It'll just come back.
All right. Hey, Tony, I appreciate that. In fact, we'll possibly be talking to him again tomorrow because I think Jeff fixed him tomorrow. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, we have got a deal for you from Renew Home Innovations. I'm a little shocked, Nick, you're doing it. It's a lot of times a company might say, 5% off this or 10% off or free estimate, whatever. This deal is pretty ridiculous. In fact, I'm not so sure how you guys can afford to do it. It's magnificent. Hold on.
Now, impact traffic.
This report is sponsored by WhatsApp.
Through the downtown area, I-70 eastbound.
Test. I know I can do it financially.
Yeah.
Financially it comes across.
See, the deal is a lot of people don't think deals are real.
Yeah.
They don't.
Well,
they simply don't think they're real.
But a complete bathroom right now is $30.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's cheap, dude.
Yeah.
That's not a steam shower and shit.
That's not a steam shower. That's just wet space, flooring, toilet, vanity. Right? That's
not sub, but normal fixtures.
Right. Yeah, decent.
30's cheap, dude.
Yeah. Wow. It really is.
Cheers. See you guys tomorrow.
See you, Doc.
All the best. Yeah, no, it really is. And so for that, and then I can do a shower.
John Fuller Law. I'll tell you something about John. I've used him twice. One time when we got T-boned coming back from Sam's Club. I actually got every single nickel the woman that hit us had in insurance. That's how impressed I was with John. The other thing he does is you're in contact with him constantly. These things take a while. They can take a year before you even get to the finish line. That's just how these insurance companies and attorneys work. And John would always keep us updated. If I had any questions, you get his cell phone number and you can call him up and talk to him. Now, he's got a great staff as well that helps him. But when you want to talk to John, you talk to John. And he'll guide you through the case. He's going to teach you, and I mean that, teach you how to maximize the case and get as much money as you can. Whoever hit you changed your life. Maybe it was only for a week or a month. Maybe it's forever. But you need someone that'll fight for every single nickel you're doing. That's John Fuller. 303-597-4500. John fills in for us sometimes here on the show. That's how much we trust him. John Fuller, Fuller Law, 303-597-4500.
Nick, I had a plumber tell me a couple of weeks ago when he heard me say that I'm going to go to Home Depot and buy like a new faucet.
Yeah.
And he said, and I don't know this guy, and I haven't seen him since, but he said, hey, the faucet you're going to buy, like let's say it's a Moen or something, which is the common name, even though, so if you're going to buy it for, say, $90 at Home Depot, ours that looks exactly like that is $380
minimum.
But the quality is completely different. He said, what you buy at Home Depot is total shit.
Yeah.
Even though it looks, is that true?
100% true.
Really?
Yeah, no, I mean, so it's like anything else. I mean, the products that they sell at the Home Depot are designed for, what's their motto? You can do it. You can help, right?
Yeah.
Well, you generally can't buy a contractor grade material. It has to come through a licensed entity.
Yeah.
So our guys have to be certified to install those things. That's true. They are.
Yeah, right.
So to that extent, the difference is how they're made up. Like a shower valve that you buy at Home Depot that's a couple $100, I'm paying $700 or $800 for that same thing.
Oh my God!
Oh, no joke. Same thing, but the difference is the cartridge.
Mm-hmm.
It's a ceramic based cartridge rather than just having a little tiny plastic piece.
Yeah,
right.
It's apples and oranges.
100%.
They just look the same.
Yeah, they can have very similar facade.
Yeah,
that is a staggering difference.
Yeah,
that's incredible.
Yeah. No, believe me, in my house, and I'm just being straight.
Sure.
In my house, I probably spent $50,000 on all the plumbing fixtures.
Oh, I was close.
Yeah, just on plumbing fixtures. Like
my steam shower, 15.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's crazy. I mean, and I'm the contractor, man.
Yeah.
And I still spent that kind of money on it. And so then ultimately, we're gonna, we have to charge for that stuff.
Of course, yeah.
So you pay to have quality.
I did not believe the guy because he really did something. He did a repair for me he did a great job of it.
Right.
But I just been struggling with that.
Yeah.
What he said all these years.
You get what you pay for in life.
Yeah.
I mean, I try not to buy anything that I'm going to have to replace quickly.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, we have a line that say only rich people can afford to buy that kind of stuff because they can afford to keep doing it over and over and over.
Oh.
And I need to do it right the first time. So
is that the same? I've seen toilets for $120.
Don't touch them.
Yeah.
Don't touch them.
Don't touch what?
I don't buy anything from Home Depot except for wood, screws, silicone.
Because those are the same.
Yeah, that's just.
But the $120 toilet is total crap.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I pay like $450 for my toilet that I sell. Mm-hmm. I'll sell that same toilet for $1,500.
There's a bunch of Chinese toilets.
Yeah.
Buy and build. You can buy. Sometimes he'll have toilets for $8.
Right.
I
$8.
don't want to use the toilet.
No, it's not used. He puts them up at auction. I mean, he might get 25 for it, but he buys like a fucking container of them
for $8.
Wow.
Yeah, buys them cheap, man. But they're cheap. They're cheap toilets.
Yeah.
But what is a cheap toilet? I mean, what does an expensive toilet do that a cheap toilet can't?
Last.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, you're not constantly replacing the guts.
Yeah.
Of the toilets.
I have replaced the guts in my toilet a whole bunch of times.
I can't remember the last time.
Yeah, I can't go number 2 anymore.
And I mean, seriously.
Sure.
And that's all human-made products. They're all designed to fail at some point.
Our original Kohler stuff we've replaced every bathroom now, but I never had any problem with anything Kohler.
Right. Yeah. Everything in my house is Kohler. And often I buy a ton of stuff from American, so I be somewhat cautious.
I like American Standard.
They have great product lines. They really do. Some of them, I think.
Today's over-reliance on China for 20 key rare earth minerals and elements, and whether decoupling from the communist nation is possible. Tune in at 2 here on 630 KHOW.
All right, 303-713-8255. We're going to put Nick Fox on the line. I can't believe he's doing this. Renew Home Innovations. By the way, renewhomeinnovations.com. And I'll give the phone number and the info out. But check out what he's going to do. And I'm not kidding. If you watch this on YouTube, I said during the break, Nick, do you have any specials that we can do for the listeners on a new bathroom? And he said, well, hold on. I got to check with the boss.
Yes.
And you went and called your wife.
Yes.
And you guys were out there and you came back in and you said, man, I got something that's crazy. And you're not kidding. Check this out. Now, I'll let you give the details, but it's nuts. You have them out and you get your bathroom done. Let's say it's your master bathroom. Whatever you want. They'll talk to you about steam showers, basic showers, pretty whatever level you want is what I love about Renew Home Innovations. If you're thinking of selling the house, they're going to have something for you. If this is your dream house and you want the full Monty, the steam shower, the fancy toilet, everything, they can do it. And you can do everything in between.
100%.
They can talk solid walls, which I've seen their systems. Absolutely gorgeous porcelain. Gorgeous. You have to look at their work. In fact, first thing I would do is go look at all their jobs at renewhomeinnovations.com, over 10,000 jobs. I've seen these guys on Fox 31 on the news and stuff in a good way. They're good people, really good way. Now, you have that bathroom done, and I guess it really doesn't matter what level, right? Because you're going to do another bathroom, the shower in another bathroom for free.
Yeah, so if a consumer purchases a full, complete bathroom remodel, we're going to do another shower on our nickel.
No, I'll give
with
you
inclusions.
Look, you come out and basically you do the master bedroom,
right,
or the bathroom, and then say upstairs the kids' room has a tub that's a tub shower, or as Tom would call it, a shub. The shub. You're going to redo that. You're going to put in a shower or do whatever.
Yeah, and we'll call those wet space. So purchase a full bath remodel, and we're going to give a free wet space shower or bath, whichever you prefer.
Yeah, but a shower. Here's what I don't get. Forget about the full remodel and the second one, the free one. Just a shower, just a good conversion. That can easily be $10,000.
Easy.
So basically, you're saying you're giving someone $10,000
on the very low end. That's what it is. Yes, that's correct.
On the very low end.
Yes.
So, and once again, what I love about it is if you do that master, and I want to clarify this because this deal's crazy. You do that master bathroom, and they're doing I don't want to say builder grade, but something updated, but not top of the line. They're still going to get that other wet space or that shower done.
Correct.
Same.
Yep.
And if they do something very high line,
right,
then you're going to do the same for that shower in there.
Right.
In other words, quality for quality.
100%. No, I mean, everything. I don't sell no junk.
No, you don't, because you sit there and you back your product. You've been doing 100%. This, you already told us, 25 plus years.
Yeah.
No, 35 years.
Right.
Renew Home Innovations. You got to mention that special. But if you've been thinking about it, do it now. There's no joke. That's the real deal. That's a huge savings. 303-904-2000, 303-904-2000, renewhomeinnovations.com. Owner's name is Nick. Give him a call. Get that set up. Free estimates. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thanks, Mark.
Follow Tom Martino at Real Tom Martino and stay connected with all of us at 630 KHOW, KHOW.com, and on the iHeartRadio app. This is Denver's talk station, 630 KHOW.
Do you think all real estate brokers are created equally? Ha! Think again.
Different than many other teams, as a master certified negotiation expert, I personally negotiate your home sale when you list your home with me.
That's Frank Duran, the realestateman.com.
I get your home sold faster. I put more money in your pocket, and I back you up with a true written performance guarantee.
Frank Duran, the realestateman.com, 303-920-1622 with RE/MAX Alliance.
Give me the opportunity, and you'll be glad you did.
This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. Cordell & Cordell is the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. That does give us certain advantages, for example, in focus and resources. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. If you're a guy facing divorce, remember, Cordell & Cordell, a partner you can count on. Visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
First caller, Wayne from Osaka, Japan.
Dan Kaplis.
Hey, what time is it there right now?
Right now, it is 20 minutes to 10 in the morning.
Wow.
And my wife and I listen to you every day. You have the best program. I mean, you really nail it, and I really appreciate what you have to say, and God bless you.
The Dan Kaplan Show. Weekday afternoons at 4.
You just made my year, my friend.
Little did you know, Dan, you just became Japan's favorite morning show.
On 630 KHOW.
KRFX HD2 Denver.
KHOW Denver, an iHeartRadio station. Make us the #1 preset on the free iHeartRadio app. Listen for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Free never sounded so good.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. In San Diego, at least 2 people are dead after a plane crashed into a military housing complex today. The Cessna was not far from the airport. Officials say fire damaged cars and homes. 8 others were injured. San Diego Assistant Fire Chief Dan Eddy.
Some of the injuries were people that were on the ground. All the injuries that we treated were people that were treated at the evacuation center. There was no one transported from scene.
Eddy says it's unclear how many people were on board the plane, and the cause is under investigation. The NTSB also on scene. A suspect is in custody. Investigators say responsible for the double murder of 2 Israeli embassy staffers last night, shot and killed outside an event at the Capitol Jewish Museum. President Trump condemned those killings. A Brooklyn federal jury today convicting Svetlana Dali of stowing away on a New York Delta flight to Paris. Dali testified in her own defense, telling jurors she did not have a boarding pass when she walked onto that flight. Dali still faces sentencing. This is ABC News. In New York City, rapper Kid Cudi testifying today in the sex trafficking and racketeering trial of Sean Diddy Combs. ABC's Rena Roy says prosecutors are focusing on Cudi's relationship with Combs' ex-girlfriend, Cassie Ventura, and how Combs reacted.
He says he found a Molotov cocktail inside that he called Combs to meet up at Soho House in Los Angeles because he felt things were getting out of hand with Combs, also allegedly breaking into his home, according to Kid Cudi. He testified that when they met up to talk, he looked like, quote, a Marvel supervillain.
Combs has pleaded not guilty to charges. The Memorial Day travel weekend is shaping up to be a record holiday. Experts predict 1 million more people will be on the roads for this Memorial Day compared to last year. Volatile storms, though, could impact travel on the roads and at airports. The threat of heavy rain and wind continues on the East Coast with a late season nor'easter. I'm Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
Members of Colorado's congressional delegation responding to this morning's passage of the so-called Big Beautiful Bill. Republican Congressman Gabe Evans.
The Republican program increases Medicaid spending every single year. We're just going to be more efficient with it by cutting out that fraud, waste, and abuse. Those 1.4 million illegal immigrants that the Congressional Budget Office says are currently receiving taxpayer benefits.
Democratic Congressman Jason Crow says that in the dead of night, House Republicans voted to strip health care from millions of Americans and that working people will suffer while the wealthiest get a tax break. A group of East High School parents and alumni who are upset about a planned security upgrade met with school officials last night. Some critics worry that the installation will damage the historic building, while others say the upgrade will only improve safety in one area. District staffers acknowledged the concerns, but said the $800,000 installation will proceed as scheduled. That's the latest. I'm Chad Bauer.
Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Starting on the south end of town, we've got a crash in eastbound Hamilton at South Galapagos Street. We're slow traffic back from River Point Parkway. No word of lane blockage, but we are seeing some pretty significant congestion through the area. I-25 northbound through downtown, some stop-and-go traffic between Alameda and Colfax. Southbound I-25 slow between I-70 and Colfax. I-70 eastbound to DIA, busy traffic starts at Central Park Boulevard. With traffic, I'm Mark Swan.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. A great alternative to a mobile phone for your kids. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get 60% off. Free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off.
A wave of new wealth awaits you with honest answers on how to make real estate investments the smart way, fully managed, safe, and secure. Find out more on the Vestera Turnkey Show, Saturday mornings at 8 on Talk Radio 630 KHOW.
Hi, Dan Cicchini. For your kitchen update done right, go to drhi.com. Great cash incentives or a special financing rate of 0% APR with 48 equal monthly payments with approved credit. For details, 800-362-8370.
I'm consumer advocate Marc Mager. My weight loss journey with DenverRegen.com has been incredible. I'm down 25 pounds in only 5 weeks. No more food noise. I feel full and don't think of food. And the best part, DenverRegen.com has semi-glutide for under $3.